Alex Hayden here to bring you all the action for this weekend's NASCAR Cup Series season finale and championship at Phoenix Raceway. Unlike other playoffs, our 4 championship contenders will be sharing the stage with the rest of the competition. There's still 36 other drivers on track that would love to put themselves in victory lane to close out the season. Today's practice session will keep eyes focused on those Championship 4 competitors, but any one of these drivers could win this weekend. Phoenix presents a unique challenge as there's really no track similar on the schedule. It features a dogleg on the front stretch that could see cars fan out to 5 or 6 wide on these starts and restarts. Drivers will need their car hooked up to be able to work the inside and outside if they want to win this one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's edition of NASCAR 21 Ignition on the channel, and it is the season finale 500 at the Phoenix International Raceway. We are getting set for this one today as it is the Championship 4, the final race on this game in its current state. Of course, when the NASCAR 22 update comes upon us sometime in the month of September, we will start the NASCAR 22 season. But as far as this goes, with NASCAR 21 Ignition the way it is right now, this is the last race on the channel with it. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into tonight's full race live stream, realistic commentary coverage. On the video game side of things, tomorrow night I'll be doing live commentary for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Bristol, and Saturday night the Cup Series race at Bristol as well. Coverage tomorrow night starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope to see you guys for then. We'll be starting the NASCAR 06 Daytona 500 with our custom schedule seasons for the Busch Truck and Cup Series on Sunday afternoon. Tune in for that live stream as well. And vote in the community tab for the drivers you want me to drive for and various polls we will have starting today. That will end as soon as I get ready for bed later tonight. I'll end those polls and I'll start more polls tomorrow based off of where the voting ends up today. But thanks for everybody tuning in. Zach Schuschman, Trace Rail Fanning, Outsider, Billy Kramer, Dark Crypto, Santiago Kid, and others. Welcome into the stream. And I have not practiced or qualified, and because it has been at least a few weeks since I played this game, I will get a little bit of practice in before I hop into qualifying on the stream. So with that being said, let's get ready to go.
Good consistent run here, driver.
Derek Booth, thanks for tuning in also. Oh, by the way, saw me messing with it. I'm trying to get the scrolling screen at the top for us. Gonna have to pause it real quick so I can do that. I don't know why it'd start me on the back stretch. That's weird. Scroll. Just go with that. And obviously, with this being the Championship 4 race, the 4 drivers competing for a championship tonight would be Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Joey Logano. So 2 Penske Fords versus 2 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, which is going to make things very, very interesting tonight. I do have stability help on, with this being a 750 horsepower racetrack on this game. That's what I usually do. So stability help is on. And a full 500 kilometers, 312 laps of racing will be set. 3 stages as usual. Gonna win the championship, I hope. Didn't do that last night in the NASCAR 06 Cup Series, unfortunately.
Clear.
Did not get Dale Jr. his first career title. Fought valiantly all season, but it was pretty much shot down after that first wreck about 57, 58 laps into the race. I do have expert difficulty on today. Usually I have champion difficulty on, but going to try to wrap things up on the hardest difficulty. If I had to imagine, we're going to be really slow on the short run. And then by the time we get into the longer run, I'm hoping to be faster. If that's not the case, I'm not restarting it, so this is it. This is the final race. 10 wins on career mode in this game. Not too shabby. We do have the most wins of any driver so far this season with 11. Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano coming in with 3 wins. And Martin Truex Jr. sitting with just 2 wins on the season after he won at Martinsville. Ryan Blaney was the only driver to point his way into the Championship 4. The other 3 drivers got their way into the Championship 4 based off of wins. Logano winning the first race of the round at Kansas. Kyle Busch winning at Texas. Truex at Martinsville. Blaney was able to point his way in by just 8 points over Kevin Harvick for that final cutoff spot into the Championship 4. So with those 11 wins, he had quite a few playoff points, 21 stage wins on the year as well. About blew through all of them in every race, but he was able to get a top 5 finish at Martinsville and rally his way into the championship race. I had no clue ARCA was even racing tonight. I barely watch ARCA. I definitely don't keep up with it enough. Even when I go to races in person, if I'm watching like the full race weekend, very rarely I'll catch the ARCA race that weekend. Daytona, Bristol are the only 2 tracks I've ever seen ARCA races live in person at. I saw the end of Talladega in 2021 last year as well, but I wasn't there for the full race. It was just kind of prolonged because there was a red flag, and got there just to watch literally the final restart by the time I got to my seats for the Xfinity race. We were just racing at Phoenix last week on NASCAR 06 with all 3, not custom schedule seasons, but all 3 seasons in general. So it's kind of amazing to look at the track at Phoenix and what it looks like today versus what it did back in 2005. Crazy how different it is. Configuration, the way the grandstands are, the fact that there's no grass anywhere on the racetrack anymore. Yep, Truck Series race at Bristol is later on tonight. I think that starts at 9 if I'm not mistaken. Somebody's really slow on the front stretch. I don't know what's going on here. What is he doing? It was like stopped. Can't even get practice laps in. I'm so glad it's the final race on this game. My goodness. That's alright. That's enough practice anyway. That's enough practice. We'll hop into qualifying. Pretty much have a good idea of what the car's going to do. There's no custom schedule. Or custom schedule. Well, there's no custom schedule either, but there's no custom setups you can go off of. So you kind of just have to use the default setup or some variant of it at the start. Looks like we were 23rd fastest in practice, so it's not too bad, all things considered. And fastest in practice was Denny Hamlin. The other Championship 4 drivers, Martin Truex Jr. was the fastest of them. He was 3rd quickest in practice. Kyle Busch, 12th quickest. And Joey Logano pretty far down the leaderboard in 34th. So the Penske Fords lacking the speed versus those Toyota drivers at Joe Gibbs Racing. So we'll see how that'll end up panning out tonight. Oh, it starts at 8 tonight. Gotcha. I think last year it started
Phoenix
at 9
Raceway for the last qualifying session of the season. I'm Alex Hayden to bring you all the action today, and there'll be plenty. The focal point is obviously on the Championship 4 contenders and where they'll end up starting.
Yeah,
the championship has been won from the back.
I mean, what's going on in
Just
the news with him? It's kinda, I haven't looked into it too much, so I don't really know much about it.
With how crazy the restarts can be here, anyone up front has a shot at gaining ground from the start.
Fan of him on
but
the
race
football
can't be
field.
won
He's
on
done
the
some
first
questionable
lap.
things,
Today is more about seeing what others have and sizing up who's the strongest.
In his career,
Remember,
after his
there's 40
career that I don't
drivers here, but for the
completely agree with,
Championship 4,
it was fun
they
to
just
watch
have
on
to
the
beat
field
the
at
other
least.
3. It'll be interesting to see which team comes out of the box the fastest in qualifying.
Oh, it's at 9 Eastern? Maybe it's at 8 Central then. I was going to say. Alrighty.
Here we go.
That and if the ARCA race is just getting started, there's no way they would get that truck race started by 8. Considering at the track they'll have to do like driver intros and stuff. Alright, so Ryan Blaney should get 2 laps to try to set the quick time here. Not saying it's going to be good enough for the pole, but we'll see where it's at. He's not going to have a great short run race car. So this opening lap looking to get up to speed. Car's still very, very tight, as it will be probably all day long. Gonna have to monitor that when he's racing in traffic. Try to play the strategy game out as far as when to pit, when not to pit throughout the course of the race as well. Down to the apron, lap 1 completed. 27.130 for Ryan Blaney on that first lap. Should pick up on lap 2. We'll have to wait and see by how much. Raji, thanks for tuning in also. Wade Solinsky, see you in the chat as well. Down to the apron again. I think lap 2 was a bit quicker. Second fastest overall. Kyle Larson's going to score the pole tonight by just 6/100ths of a second over Ryan Blaney. Actually did better than what I thought it was going to, considering we were 23rd in practice. So picked up a little bit on lap 2, but maybe, yeah, I would have picked up a little bit. Would have had a 27 flat based off of the lap time showed by Kyle Larson. So 27 flat, picked up about 2/10. It's quite a bit, actually, from lap 1 to lap 2, but I didn't go to the apron at all at the start of the first lap, so that was probably a big factor. Probably gained half, maybe a full 10th, really, both times I went down there. Corey Freed, thanks for tuning in also. So, Championship 4 drivers, you got Martin Truex Jr. in 3rd, right where he was in practice. Joey Logano jumps up the board quite a bit. He'll be starting 5th. Kyle Busch 11th. So 3 of the Championship 4 inside the top 5 for tonight's race. Final race on this game on the channel. NASCAR 22 update will come out sometime in the month of September, and when it does,
Welcome to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship. I'm Alex Hayden, and this is Phoenix Raceway. The season comes down to this event as the playoffs conclude in one final race. 4 drivers are looking to achieve a lifelong goal of becoming the NASCAR Cup Series champion, and the trophy will be awarded to the highest finishing Championship 4 driver. This is what we've all been waiting for. The NASCAR Cup Series Championship is on the line. Let's get the championship finale underway.
Alrighty. So, indeed, as that man that I can't remember his name off the top of my head just said, let's get this thing started. We know where we're at. Starting second, outside front row. Blaney not going to be that fast on the short run on equal fresh tires today, so hopefully he could just stay on the lead lap. This first stage is much shorter than the second 2 stages tonight. And again, 312 laps total distance. 4 drivers. 1 shot at the title, and simple. Who finishes better of those 4 will be the champion. Kyle Larson going to lead the field to the green off turn 4, and we are underway at Phoenix. For the first turn, Larson has the advantage on the bottom. Ryan Blaney up on the outside lane. Kind of struggling up there. Truex up to second place, 3 wide nearly off the exit of the corner. Both of the Penske teammates of Ryan Blaney on the inside. Blaney up high, not where he wants to be right now in the non-preferred lane, as he is getting freight trained by pretty much everybody else in the field around him. At the run off turn 4, he's able to stay in front of Chase Elliott and get down to the bottom lane. That was a great move. When he had the opportunity to get to the bottom, Elliott got to cross him back over to the outside, but at least Blaney's back in his preferred lane now, and he'll go from there. He's probably going to go backwards off the start. Again, expert difficulty. We know how difficult that is in this game. And going to go down to the apron for the first time as we're short into the run. It's going to wear the tires out more and more the more he goes down to the apron, so you're really only going to see it off restarts more than likely. Probably pick up the throttle a little bit sooner. Oh my goodness, about turned himself on the 4 of Kevin Harvick. No rearview mirror in this game. It's hard to tell exactly when there's a car around you. And Blaney just about turned himself off of Harvick's front bumper in the middle of the back straightaway. That would not have been ideal. And he drove it in pretty deep. 17 car, Chris Buescher now down to the bottom as he crosses Blaney over. Was on the outside initially going into the corner.
Clear, clear. Stay right.
Blaney in that middle to upper groove. It does seem like he's got more grip in this middle to upper groove, but he's just not quite as fast. Crossing over on the 24 of Byron, underneath the 17 of Buescher as well.
Got one right. Got one right. All right, hold your line.
Snipers
All
Republic, thanks for tuning in. Driving as Ryan Blaney in the body armor number 12. Ford Mustang. As we have all season. He's kind of found himself in line in 12th place right now, right around the 17 of Buescher, the 24 of Byron. Buescher seems a little bit quicker than the 12. Speaking of quick, here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47 car with a run. Lenny down to the apron a third time already in the first 7 laps. Zachary, thanks for tuning in.
Clear,
Contact.
Clear, clear, clear.
Blaney was pushing a bit tight in the middle of the corner, and then he gets bullied out of the way by William Byron in the 24 as well. After the slowdown and the contact initially between the 47 and the 12. De Benedetto now up to the outside lane. Blaney getting as close to that inside retaining wall as possible, the exit of the pit wall really, on the front stretch whenever he does go down to the
Got one
apron.
left.
Trying to take as much of a shortcut as physically possible.
All right, hold your line. All right, hold your line. Clear,
Benedetto
clear.
looking down low. Blaney trying to keep it off the wall, but he's in the wall.
One left. One down
Allows for
low.
a few cars to get by him.
Still next to you.
Complex damage is on, just like every race this season. Easy to blow a tire in this game. We've seen so many times,
One left.
especially with the Gen 6
All
bodies.
clear.
Hopefully NASCAR 21 ignition won't be as easy. The composite bodies on those chassis. And the end of the back of Reddick. Kyle Busch has lost a lot of spots out of the beginning of the race as he almost got into Blaney off the exit of turn 4. Blaney with a block on the front stretch to hold on to third in the championship running at least. Well, Truex and Logano definitely pulling away out of the start.
Stay right. Still inside. Still next to you.
Busch down low, Blaney up high.
One left.
Into turns 1 and 2. Look how tightly the 18 car running the 12. Blaney going to try to downshift in turns 3 and 4. 1 and 2 rather. Trying to do something a little different. Especially on that outside lane. It's very close to the wall. There's no PJ1 or traction compound like you would typically see at Phoenix. In real life at least. Trying to battle back on Kyle Busch. Not going to do so. So Blaney's fallen from second starting spot back to 18th. Again, I'm surprised he qualified as well as he did. He ran really good laps in qualifying, especially that second lap. No clue exactly where the leaders are at. No track map on the game either. Blaney driving it in deep. On Busch, a little slide job trying to get by him. Kyle Busch going to be able to pull the crossover move as the 12 washed up a little bit too far wide that time. And now into turns 3 and 4. Blaney's pressing a lot harder on corner entry though, trying to make up whatever time he loses on the straightaway. Getting down to the inside of Busch. A little slide job. That time he hangs on to it. Busch is not going to be able to cross him over, at least in turns 1 and 2. We'll see if Busch is going to have a run in 3 and 4 to get back by Blaney. Maybe, maybe not. Nope. Blaney holds on. 15 laps in, 75 laps in stage 1. So 60 laps still to go in this first stage at this 1 mile short track. This is one of the shorter races of the season. Just 312 miles. Well, they should have things wrapped up. I would have to imagine between 8:30 and 9 o'clock later tonight. Just like the NASCAR 06 custom schedule, or I keep saying custom schedule because that's what we're going on to next, but the NASCAR 06 Cup Series season, and I do it for Dale Series, I was keeping track of stats. I'll go through some of the stats of the top performing drivers this season at the end of this race as well. Busch and Blaney have a little bit of work cut out for them if they're going to want to win the championship tonight. It's crazy that their teammates that are also in the championship 4 are running inside the top 5. While they themselves are outside the top 15. I mean, we figured Blaney's going to struggle on the short run, but at least he's kind of found himself just outside the 15. And he's actually starting to pull away from Busch a little bit after battling him for a half dozen laps. Just kind of trying different things, really. The car's so tight on entry, middle on exit of the corner, it feels fine. Again, we're going to have to wait to see what the car is going to act like on the long run to wait to see on what the potential adjustment changes could end up being. And kind of letting the car do its thing right now. Not easy to do when he's not battling for position. Sign the petition to bring back Rockingham? Where's your petition? I'm down for Rockingham being back on the schedule. I don't know that a petition's necessarily going to be what brings Rockingham back. Saw how hard it was even for Dale Jr. to bring back North Wilkesboro. And he's probably got more saying power than anybody in the NASCAR community, inside and out. Outside of, obviously, the leaders at NASCAR themselves, leading officials. Blaney's starting to slowly get faster. Is he going to be fast enough on the long run, though, to actually compete for what potentially is going to have to be the win to win the championship, knowing how strong the 19 and the 22 cars are? But he is definitely closing on the 8 of Tyler Reddick, Stenhouse to Benedetto, Chris Buescher, the next couple cars in front of Reddick. Looking to the inside of Reddick in turns 3 and 4. Just got into him, pushed a little tight there at the last second. Trying to take advantage of the shortcut on the front stretch, looking to the inside. Turns 1 and 2. Seems to be the better of the two ends of the racetrack for Blaney. He gets off turn 4 well, but it does seem like he gets the corner entry down a little bit better in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4. But that pass is made on Reddick. I haven't had too many classic races on this game, but it'd be fitting if the final race on this game is going to be a classic one. You just never know.
Got one right.
Especially with this game.
Clear all around.
Big run on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We know the stages aren't going to matter like the other races throughout the course of the season for the drivers racing for the championship today. Solely based off the race finishing order. Obviously, you want the best track position possible at the end of the stages for restarts and pitting sequence under the stage breaks. But that would really be the only reason. Fire Rick Allen. I don't know what your problem is with Rick Allen. A lot of people don't like Rick Allen. I mean, I can see why to a certain extent, but I don't think he's nearly as bad as people proclaim. And personally, I think he's only getting better as he has more experience, as I'm sure anybody would.
Clear all around.
Took a peek to the inside off turn 4, but Ryan Blaney throttles it down just a bit deeper in turns 1 and 2. Reddick battling to the outside.
Stay left.
And Reddick is caught back up to Ryan Blaney. It looked like Blaney was going to start pulling away from him, but I think as he hit the dirty air with the other cars in traffic just up ahead, it allowed Reddick to close that gap a bit more. Reddick going to get back by Ryan Blaney. Blaney going to try to pull the crossover now on the front stretch. First lap car of the day. These drivers outside the top 15 is going to be the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. It's going to allow for Ryan Blaney to get by Tyler Reddick. Reddick got pinched off there. There was no shot for him to squeeze in between the 62 and the 12 to go 3 wide that time. So he had to get out of the gas and just kind of duck back in line the 12. And in turns 3 and 4, he's going to get right back to the inside of Blaney, it looks like, off the exit of the corner. Got out of the gas, so just to keep it off of him, and Blaney's going to be able to hang on slightly for that position. Acid dive in turns 1 and 2 as he closes on the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I like having to use the look-back cam as much as I have to on this game, but it's what you got to do to not completely turn yourself off the front bumper of another car. Cody Ware, Timmy Hill, a couple more lap cars in the picture. Blaney with a deep dive down to the bottom. Not going to be able to clear Timmy Hill. It's going to allow Stenhouse to pull away as he catches Chris Buescher on the back stretch. Buescher trying to get by the 51 of Ware yet.
All clear.
Blaney gets by Timmy Hill finally, but so does Tyler Reddick. Reddick has to go to the outside though. So actually it did not
All clear. Car right.
run Reddick versus Blaney that time. Blaney with the deep dive into turns 1 and 2. He saw Joey Gase right there. He's going to pull off the slide job in a 3-wide move on both Chris Buescher and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Cleared them. They're going to both get right back underneath the 12 though. And they're going to hang on to their 14th and 15th place positions on the racetrack. Seen some good battles going on the racetrack though outside the top 10 so far. Colton Doe, thanks for tuning in. Up the dog leg, yeah, I pretty much am. I'm trying not to do that too much. I've done it quite a bit, actually more than what I thought I was going to coming into the race. Just because it does wear the tires out more every time you're taking that deep of an arc going into turn 1 because of how deep I run in the dog leg. Yeah, I don't know what that puppy statement had to do with anything. I've never heard of that before. Of course, Cody Ware's getting 30 laps in. Yeah, video game, not video game in real life, doesn't matter what it is or what track. Seems normal. He's not in last, I'll give him that. He's outrunning Brendan Gaughan and Timmy Hill. Which isn't saying much, but he's not in last. His equipment's probably a little bit better than MBM's, though. And maybe the Beard Sports team as well, considering that those two teams don't run the full season.
Stay left. All clear.
You get by the lapper of Justin Haley. Look at how much out of the throttle time Stenhouse had going into the corner. It allowed Ryan Blaney to try to attack.
Got one left.
Stenhouse back to the inside with the crossover.
All clear.
Stenhouse going to hold on for now. Blaney going to try to pull that move off again in turns 3 and 4.
Clear,
And
clear.
this time, Stenhouse not able to drive his car back down to the bottom. Look at all the lap traffic up ahead. Things are starting to get more condensed together. The more cars that go a lap down are starting to slow up some drivers in the back half of the top 10, like Kurt Busch. Kevin Harvick probably in the mix up there as well. Ashton G, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that content, by the way, Colton. We're already about halfway through stage 1. This race is flying by without any cautions coming out so far. I don't know what time it was when I actually started the race, considering I practiced and qualified at the start of the stream. Stenhouse still battling, gets to the outside. Not going to be able to get there completely, at least, and stay alongside Blaney on the front stretch. 12 just driving it in so deep. He wanted to make sure he was going to get by the 52 of Josh Malicki that time, and he was able to do so. He can have the normal line to run if he chooses. Turns 3 and 4, but he gets into the back of Quinn Houth. That's going to stall out Blaney quite a bit. And try to get by Houth in 1 and 2 now.
All clear.
Couple lap cars at that. Got by his teammate Austin Cindric as well in the 33. We'll see Cindric in the 2 when that 22 update comes out. Keselowski will then be in the 6. It's the last race we're going to see Ryan Newman on these newer NASCAR games too. He'll be retired. Benedetto stuck behind the 38 car of Anthony Alfredo. Blaney going to get by them both, it looks like, and stay in front of them both. Oh! It spoke a little too soon. That was a close call. Alfredo washed up a bit wide off turn 2 and almost turned the 12 car down the back straightaway, but Blaney holds on to 13th and is pulling away from Alfredo on the front stretch. Blaney's not getting through the lap traffic perfectly, but he's getting through it a little bit better than some of the other drivers, which has allowed him to gain some spots on the racetrack. 13th place right now, was as far back as 18th at one point. Then he's got a run on his teammate Keselowski this time, who also qualified top 5. So he's fading a bit. Blaney's starting to get a little better on the longer run. Blaney will make the pass on Keselowski for position. He'll stay in front. No crossover from the 2 coming that time. Kind of like the middle groove, not all the way up near the wall, but I feel like it really rotates in the early going of the corner better than when I'm trying to run the bottom, because it's really tight. Just run the risk of a car getting back underneath you if you don't pull away from them quickly after making a pass. Especially these passes for position, more so than the lap cars. Right behind Austin Dillon in the 3. Get a little bit of clean air on the nose. That's why he went to the bottom that time. Closed in quickly on corner entry. He's going to try to do the same thing as he gets to the inside of Dillon in 3 and 4.
All right, hold your line. All clear.
Off the exit of turn 4. Lenny looking low. He's side by side with Dillon right now entering turn 1. So he wasn't behind him, so he didn't have to drive it as deep into the corner to make the pass. As he washes up, he's going to be clear of Austin Dillon. Dillon pulling out of line, though, looking back to the bottom into turns 3 and 4. Blaney not going to give it up that easily. Although Blaney kind of cooks the corner a little bit too far deep. And Dillon will get back to the inside of the 12.
Clear, clear, clear.
Corner exit speed, though, off the high side, especially in the Moorbank corner in turns 3 and 4. Newman said he was ashamed to share the name Ryan with Blaney as well in the number 12. I don't think that that's true. I've never heard anything about that.
Got one left.
Oh,
Clear,
boy.
clear.
Dillon a bit too far wide, about turn 1 of the Championship 4 drivers. Off the exit of the corner. Blaney kept the hammer down. He was all right. Good job keeping control of the race car. Even with stability help on, it's not easy to spin these cars out. We've ran stability help on short tracks before. I mean, look at Martinsville. It costed Blaney a shot at the win, spinning out a couple times in the final stage. especially on the longer runs. Look at how deep he went into the corner. That was definitely a little too deep. Washed up near the wall, then kind of makeshifted the corner by diving it down towards the bottom a little more off the exit. Almost diamonding the corner off a little bit. Curious to keep trying that turns 1 and 2. I wonder how much it's going to actually work on the long run. Maybe save tires a little bit more. Started towards the outside that time. Actually had good corner exit speed. He'll keep up with the 48 of Bowman on the backstretch, heading into turns 3 and 4. And he into the back of the 48.
Clear all around.
Bowman caught up, though, behind lap car Corey LaJoy. Blaney as well into LaJoy. Still got by the 7 quicker, even with the contact. That pass is complete. Blaney inside the top 10. First time since starting there. Took about 49 laps to gain just the last 8 positions, though. Well, not exactly. We probably didn't fall all the way back to 18 until probably lap 8 to 12 or somewhere around there.
Got one right. Clear all around.
It's a slow drive to the front of the field, and I don't think it's fast enough of a drive throughout the rest of this field, knowing that we're getting deeper into this fuel run. Blaney really tight, slipping up the track quite a bit, turns 3 and 4. Great job feathering the throttle enough to keep it off the wall. Managing the brakes pretty well that time also. Three wide, one car in the middle up ahead. Chase Briscoe in the 14. I think he's potentially a lap down right now. We know Christopher Bell's on the lead lap, racing around him. Kurt Busch on the inside of the 10 of Almirola as well. Blaney 3 wide to the bottom temporarily.
Clear all around.
And he is
Car
not
right.
quite going to clear the 10. It's going to allow the 1 of Kurt Busch to move on a little bit, but now Busch is closing in on Timmy Hill in the 66.
Clear, clear, clear.
Oh, Busch with a block.
Got
Blaney
one
was
right.
not clear with that block.
All clear. Got one right.
Busch has to be careful about turning.
All clear.
How low Blaney's going in 1 and 2. Talk about wearing your right front tire out, trying to get that to stick. Busch almost rubbing alongside Cole Custer now, his old ride. Prior to Chip Ganassi racing. And Briscoe and Custer both a lap down. Cody Ware 2 laps down. Right in front of both of them.
Car right. 2 on the outside. You're 3. Clear,
And
clear.
there's the dive bomb into the corner for 9th. Slides clear. 53 of Joey Gase right there. Blaney looking to the outside.
Stay right.
Gase will give him that lane into turns
Clear,
3 and
clear,
4.
clear.
And we'll complete the pass. I'm not upset with 9th place after 55 laps, considering I know how slow the car is on the short run. Just managing his tires better. That's not the reason why I started to fall back. It was just kind of a game plan, knowing that I knew I was going to fall back anyway. Maybe could have slotted myself in like 12th, 13th, but then I wouldn't be as fast as I am now. Probably would still be around there at this point in the run. So I do think that this is the play. Try to make some adjustment changes going forward and try to help the car a little more on the short run side of things. Considering that there are no custom setups that you can use in this game. Hopefully you can in NASCAR 22 side of things, but I highly doubt it. I feel like it's just going to be a copy and paste game. I'm not expecting too much out of it. Honestly, as long as we just have a rear view mirror, I think it'd be improvement. Personally. Chastain in the 42 right in front of the 20 of Bell.
Stay right.
Blaney went to the outside. He had the bottom open. Bell didn't get there. Blaney really backed the corner up, though. Look at that drive off, especially with the 20 alongside the 42. finally going to get by Chastain. Blaney trying to do the same. Should be able to do it in the dog leg down on the front stretch. Big dive into the corner now on the 20 car of Christopher Bell. Slides clear initially, but Bell with the crossover. Get right back in front of him. Earl Arnold Jr., thanks for tuning in. Group, who do you think will drive for KBM in the truck since Toyota has Chaim Nemechek? Man, I don't know how that works exactly. Does that mean that they're still tied down to Toyota even with Busch leaving? Like, I don't know how that works necessarily contract-wise if they're still under contract with Toyota. I think Nemechek's probably going to drive the 18 car full-time, or the 54 full-time in the Xfinity Series next year. If I mean, that would be the wise move, I feel like. Moving him up. I think he's done enough in the Truck Series and has 1 year of Cup experience where he didn't have a bad season considering he was with Front Row at the time. He did better in his one and only season there than what Anthony Alfredo or Todd Gilliland have done in that car over there in 1 year. So I'd probably say Nemechek's going to go to the 54 if it hasn't already been announced. Corey Haim's an interesting one though, because Corey Haim might move up to the Xfinity Series 2, and the only reason I say that is because Brandon Jones, I believe, is going to be driving the 9 at JRM next year. I think it was announced yesterday. So I'd probably... So the 19 and the 54 rides are open. And considering the 18's not a full-time ride either, that means there are literally no full-time rides open in the Xfinity program at Joe Gibbs Racing right now. Literally all three of them are open. So I think Nemechek moves up. I think there's a shot Haim moves up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy Smith got an opportunity to run full-time in that car. And if that's the case, I don't know of any Toyota drivers or who the Toyota drivers are in ARCA, for instance. Drew Dollar, I think, is one of them. Outside of him, I don't know any other ones. So I don't think there's really any incentive for a truck team to be started as of right now. I mean, ThorSport is their only truck program right now, but they've been pretty committed as far as staying with the Truck Series and simply racing for championships in the trucks. And that's why they have veteran drivers like Matt Kraft and Johnny Sauter that just have experience there. Enfinger's been there a while. Even Ben Rhodes has been in the Truck Series for like 5 years now. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ben Rhodes gets a shot at Joe Gibbs Racing in the Xfinity Series. I have no clue how that's going to turn out. It's going to be interesting, but I don't expect anything to really pop open as far as the truck side of things, to be completely honest. Obviously, at Chevrolet, KBM will be able to open some stuff up there. So I don't know. I mean, maybe Corey Haim takes a switch to Chevy. Oh, Chandler Smith, too. I forgot about Chandler Smith.
Clear.
Chandler Smith will probably run full-time Xfinity over Haim. I forgot about Smith. He'll probably move up. I think Nemechek will move up. And then maybe they run Haim and Sammy Smith like part-time in the 18 next year. Or Sammy Smith full-time. I think Sammy Smith's going to get that opportunity over Corey Haim. So maybe Haim goes over to Chevrolet at KBM.
Car right. Clear.
And if he does that, you know, I really don't know who else would go there. I don't know who else is in the pipeline under the Truck Series in the ARCA East-West and World ARCA Series. I don't really watch that series enough to know any of the names down there for the most part. Jones to the 9, yeah. Billy Carjoy, thanks for tuning in as well. Hulk Hogan's son will drive for KBM. What you mean by that statement, brother? Cars on Boy, thanks for tuning in as well. Under contract with Toyota. Is it a manufacturer contract or a contract at KBM though? I don't know any details on it, to be completely honest. Been to 2 ARCA races, yeah, me too. Technically 3, but start to finish 2 of them. Yeah, scoring issues, rear view mirror. That's all I hope for out of the 22 update. At least the scoring issues, even if we don't get a rear view. At least the scoring issues have to be fixed. Bare minimum. That's inexcusable. Especially stage racing on. You get to the end of the stages and you might be a lap down. Like, it's not right. Speaking of stages, of the Championship 4, 3 of them are in the top 8. Kyle Busch is still outside the top 10. There is a car on pit road right now. I'm going to pause it for a quick second because I want to make sure I know what the fuel window is here before I get too deep into the stage. We're already pretty deep as it is. 72 to 84 laps is a full tank of fuel at Phoenix in this game. So 72 to 84 laps is the scheduled pit window. And we're at lap 69 right now. Do you risk trying to make it on fuel all the way to the end of the stage is going to be an interesting question because it could trap some cars a lap down, but there's that risk here. You're about 3 to 4 laps short on fuel if you're Ryan Blaney. But you also, in my personal opinion, probably have to just stay on the same strategy as the other Championship 4 drivers. Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch. I think they talked about the Xfinity Series being added next year's game, but I don't know about the trucks. I don't know why they wouldn't have both, but it's been rumored at least. I don't think it's confirmed. I can't confirm nor deny if it's confirmed, at least. I don't really keep up with like the inside updates on the games on a yearly basis. I just play them for the sake of content on the channel. Keep the realistic commentary going during the week when I'm not doing it on the race weekends. So it is lap 72 right now. 3 laps to go in the stage this time by at the start-finish line. The good news is if you ran out of gas, at least you know the end of the stage is very soon. So in a sense, be able to make it, but you would risk going a couple laps down if that is the case. Nowhere close to the 7th place driver. I'm not sure who it is either. At least the next 3 cars in front of Ryan Blaney are not whoever's in 7th. We've only seen a couple cars pit. Nobody in front of the 12 is pitted.
Clear, clear.
Pit road closes with 2 to go in the stage anyway, so pit road is closed at the line already. Because the race leader's already made it to 2 to go. So Blaney's committed. Trying to make it on fuel to the end of the stage. He's got some work to go, though, if he's going to want to win the race and win the championship. Unless something catastrophic happens to Truex and Logano in front of him and Kyle Busch still stays back about where he's running currently. It looks like Blaney's pretty much locked into an 8th place finish. Final lap of stage 1. And stage points don't matter, even though Blaney will score a few of them. And the leader was not that far behind Blaney because he just crossed the checkered flag. And it didn't even give me a chance to cross it. But green white checkered flag in the air for the first time tonight. Stage 1 is complete. Denny Hamlin will win stage number 1 at Phoenix tonight. Joey Logano will finish 2nd. Chase Elliott 3rd. Martin Truex Jr. ends up 4th. William Byron rounds out the top 5. Kyle Larson's the pole sitter, finishes 6th in the stage. Kevin Harvick 7th. Ryan Blaney 8th. Christopher Bell 9th. Kurt Busch will round out the top 10. And Kyle Busch is 18th, and I believe Busch is the lap down as of the end of stage 1, I'd have to imagine. So Blaney's going to pit during the stage break. It'll be interesting to see if anybody else pits, and there's going to be some adjustment changes as well. Let's see here. Gonna take some wedge out for sure. Gonna take 2 rounds of wedge out of the race car. And we'll go 2 pounds of air pressure all the way around. So 2 pounds of air pressure all the way around, and we're going to go dropping the wedge 2 rounds. So major adjustments for Ryan Blaney under the first pit stop of the night during the stage 1 break. I don't think anybody else...
Got us to point that out.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else pitted. Maybe they did. Green flag back in the air. Didn't even... I mean, I'm in control of the car now before the start-finish line, which is strange. The green flag is back in the air at Phoenix. We know Blaney just pitted. You have to watch to see if anybody else pits. I'm not sure who pitted or who didn't pit during the stage break itself. Blaney with a deep dive into the corner. Contacted, gets straightened up off the 41 of Custer as they were 4 wide. 4 wide in the corner. Blaney got turned off the 52. Looked like he was going to go head on into the wall, but then he got straightened out by the 41 of Custer. Good thing Custer was there. Blaney would have hit head on into the wall. And he was just sandwiched from there as they were 4 wide. 2 cars were making contact with him. It's showing Blaney in 3rd right now, which is very strange. I'm not sure why he's in 3rd. That leads me to believe that there were cars behind him that pit. But again, with the scoring issues on this game, whenever there's a caution or a stage in, I have no clue what to believe right now as far as how we're in 3rd. Bell's in 4th. Bush just came off the wall. Just sideswipe Blaney. Making more contact with Bush. Here comes Bell on the inside, 3 wide.
Clear, clear, clear. Pit, this lap. Pit, pit, pit. Pit, this lap. Pit, pit, pit.
I don't think Blaney was the only car to pit, because he's not really making any passes right now. A lot of contact, 3 wide. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch. Elliott up to P4. Oh, into the inside wall goes Elliott, clobbers it, then into Busch again.
You're in the middle here, 3 wide.
Larson.
Middle of 3. Bring it to us this lap. Stay with it.
Squeezing Blaney.
1 left. Clear all around. 2 on the outside. You're 3. 3 wide. You got 2
Hoping the
up top,
adjustment
3
change is
wide.
going to be
You
good
got
for
2
the
up top.
12. It feels better.
All right.
Still not fast on the short run.
Clear, clear.
Hamlin gets by. I think Blaney just ended up gaining 5 spots on pit road.
Clear, clear.
Not sure why he restarted mid-pack in 3rd and
Pit, this lap. Pit, pit, pit. Got 1 right.
how that order got
Clear all
taken
around.
over. Take the chat seriously. The Bills could be in the Super Bowl. They're definitely one of the biggest
Middle of
contenders
3.
in the
Middle of
AFC.
3.
Blaney's going to get turned one of these times. Keeps sliding up into the car on his outside, flirting with that right rear corner panel with
You're
contact.
in the middle here, 3 wide.
It's kind of been pinballed around a lot since the restart too.
2 inside, you're 3 wide.
Truex going to
3
get
wide,
by.
2 down there.
3 wide, nowhere to go for Blaney. That
One
time got
left,
squeezed
clear,
in the
clear.
wall. Logano and Gase get underneath him and get by. So Truex is the championship 4 leader right now in 7th. Logano 8th, Blaney 9th.
Pit, this lap. Pit, pit, pit. 2 on the outside, you're 3.
Oscar Mears Herrera, thanks for tuning in.
2 on the outside, you're 3. Stay left, stay left. Clear,
3
clear,
wide and
clear.
tight again. Reasons like what have happened almost lap after lap, corner after corner on this restart is why I want a rearview mirror in this game.
Pit, this lap. Pit, pit, pit. Pit, this lap. Pit, pit, pit. Got 1 right. Clear, 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 clear. Alright, bring it to us this lap. Got 1 left. Car low. All right, hold your line. Clear all around.
So I believe Blaney's the last car in the lead lap in 9th. Finished 8th at the end of the stage. Bell was 9th behind him at the end of the stage. We saw Bell pass Blaney already as well, so that leads me to believe that there's just 9 cars on the lead lap at the end of stage 1, which is accurate. Restart order maybe not was accurate. And Blaney might have the car a little too loose right now because he was power sliding quite a bit on that bottom lane on corner entry. Sad part is it's still tight. Like, it's tight on entry still, which has not been fixed with the major adjustment changes on pit road, but it's almost too loose on entry now where it's just sliding and he's burning up the rear tires more and more compared to what he was last run, and there he goes into the wall. I should say sliding more middle exit of the corner, but he's still tight on entry. If anything, the car might have gotten worse with the setup change. It's slower versus where it was before the setup change.
All right, bring it to us this lap.
Hopefully we can get a clean lap in on this lap. Then we can try to figure it out. By the way, stage 2 is 115 laps, so everybody will have to make a pit stop at some point in time in this second stage. Ryan Blaney might have went the wrong way with adjustment changes. At all costs, just have to stay in the lead lap to the end of stage 2, and then go from there in the final stage. Three more stops yet to the end if he pits during the stage 2 break. As of right now, that's definitely the plan, whether he's on the lead lap or a lap down.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
Don't want to risk short pitting in case the caution comes out. We saw the bad effect of that last night in our championship race for the Cup Series. Dale Jr. losing 2 spots at Homestead, or 2 laps at Homestead because of short pitting.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
Looks like William Byron, by the way, as of right now, is the race leader. And he is already... That is unbelievable. There is no way Blaney's about to go lap down already in this stage. But it looks like he is. William Byron has closed that gap immensely right now. And he's within a second and a half behind Ryan Blaney. That is unbelievable. There's no free pass in this game, by the way, either. Blaney's slower, but he's not that slow overall. Definitely going to have to move that setup back to the way it was, though.
Pit this lap. Pit, pit, pit.
Here comes Byron.
Got one left.
To the inside.
Clear, clear.
Doors Blaney, makes the pass. Blaney is now a lap down.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
Still decent ways to go, but not a great start for the 12 of Ryan Blaney to stage 2 after a decent start to the race overall, finishing 8th at the end of the first stage. With just 19 laps into stage 2 and he's already a lap down. Hoping he can get speed to at least get this lap back at some point, but he's definitely looking to short pit now. You've got nothing to lose. You're already a lap down. Probably want to get to within the window to make it to the end of the stage first. Which we know he could go at least 75 laps on fuel, so at least wait until lap 40, which would be 75 to go in stage 2, which is 20 laps away from now. Here comes second place, Kevin Harvick. Better driver, Kerry Earnhardt, Stephen Wallace.
This lap. Pit, pit, pit.
I'd probably say Stephen Wallace. I don't really remember Kerry Earnhardt doing much. Although Stephen Wallace wrecked a lot, and he probably didn't do well either. I'd have to look at their stats head up, because off the top of my head, I have no clue what their stats were. I know they both weren't great. Let's see, video 6 for tuning in. Yeah, off the top of my head, I'd probably say Stephen Wallace, but I don't know what their stats look like at all. Stenhouse in 10th place is closing back in on Ryan Blaney as well. Stenhouse being the first car a lap down. So being tight is still a problem on corner entry. The bad news is for Ryan Blaney is he's so loose middle off that he's burning the rear tires up. And they're spinning so much that it's choking down the straightaway speed even more than when he was tight and having to wait a while to get into the gas. Because at least the rear wheels weren't spinning before. There it goes. That's another big slide. He's trying to make it to lap 40 at this point, and then pit. Or caution comes out. The problem is, caution comes out, Blaney's going to be a lap down. In danger of falling outside of the top 10 pretty soon, because the 48 of Alex Bowman is now right behind him, looking to take that 10th place position over. Blaney holding on in front of Bowman for now. And a blow around him on the outside.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
He's going to try driving it in super deep.
All clear.
Trying to do something different. That's not working. Rear tires just spin more though. And you're trying to get back into the gas. NASCAR Inside Line Wii game has All-Star Race? I have no clue. I've never played that game, let alone on the Wii. So I have no clue personally.
This lap. Pit.
One time Kenny Wallace told Stephen Wallace he's worse than Bubba Wallace. Stephen Wallace retired. Where are you getting this stuff from? They're coming up with some wild and crazy things today in the chat. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I think just pitted. That moves Blaney right back up to 10th.
This lap. Pit.
And he's got Matt DiBenedetto, Chase Elliott right on his back bumper into turns 1 and 2. PS3 and Xbox, yes. First video game I ever owned besides NASCAR?
Got one right. Clear.
Man, I don't even know. I don't know what the first one was. I played NASCAR 06. Or sorry, not NASCAR. I played Madden 06 a lot when I was younger. That was like the earliest Madden game I think I ever had. It was my favorite. Still is. MLB The Show, I think 06 was the first. It was whatever the first year of that was. The SmackDown vs. Raw video games were always ones that I played a lot growing up. I had 07.
Bring it to us this lap.
For an old Xbox as well as my PSP. Those are the earliest games. I don't know exactly what the first one was, but I'd lean towards any one of those probably being the first. I had to guess. Earliest memories for sure.
Car right. Clear.
The outside goes Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney still just losing a lot of time right now. Joey Logano up to 5th, Truex to 6th after the restart. They fell back a little bit compared to when they finished 2nd and 4th. Logano stuck behind Blaney, back straightaway right now. Trying to get around his teammate. Should be able to do so. Logano about 4 seconds ahead of Truex. We know we're going to get one more caution with the stage break. We have not had a caution for incident today. Over 100 laps in out of 312. Whatever happens, though, Ryan Blaney's just going to have to make sure that he's on the lead lap at the end of stage 3. And by short pitting, that's probably going to be his best opportunity because he is losing way too much time as of right now compared to what he lost at the start of the race as he went the wrong way with the setup change.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
The problem is, you look at the pit options, and it shows that I didn't make any adjustment changes, even though I could feel the adjustment changes, so I don't know what I do to move it back. I think I move it, select it, like move it to where it actually is now, select it, and then move it back, maybe? I hope. Because if that doesn't do it, I don't know what's going to actually change the car.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
By the way, Stenhouse pitted under green flag conditions. He's in 21st on much fresher tires right now because he is
Got one left.
closing in on Blaney. He's going to get around him.
All clear.
All of Vegas. Hey Scott, thanks for tuning in.
Bring it to us this lap.
If I said your name correctly, I probably didn't.
Stay right.
Thrillville, I don't even know what that is, honestly. I never really played hardly any games outside of like sports games growing up. Remember we had this for a PS2. We had like family game show games like Wheel of Fortune and stuff. Had what else we had? We had like this. I can't remember exactly what the game was called, but it was a name code game, and it was like a 25th anniversary game of some sort. It had like pretty much like all the old like arcade games on the PS2, which is pretty cool. I like playing that a lot. That's where I found my love of Pac-Man. As being my favorite arcade game of all time. When I get older, my man cave, it's gonna have a Pac-Man arcade game in it.
This lap. Pit.
It's hard to make these adjustment changes when I'm having to use the keypad, but use the analog stick to steer the car in the corners on a short track. Especially because I'm having to do everything twice. Still hit my marks. Carnival game? Yeah, I've never heard of it. So that would be a no.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
Lap 38, not going to be able to make the adjustment changes by lap 40, but looking to pit within a few laps after that, likely. Alright, so I'm hoping that would have saved it. William Byron's about to put Ryan Blaney 2 laps down. In 40 laps in stage 2, Blaney's about to lose 2 laps.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
I couldn't have been more wrong with the setup change. I didn't think it was going to make it that loose, though. That's the problem. It made the car so loose on exit, and also simultaneously while it made it loose middle to exit, I'm still tight on entry. So it didn't fix the problem I had. It didn't do anything to the problem I had, and just made what the good thing about the car that I did have,
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
it went the complete opposite direction, unfortunately. So Blaney's going to have to make up 2 laps. Unlikely green flag conditions by the end of the stage.
Clear all around.
Again, you just really hope that short pitting is the way to go. There's Byron right behind the 12 with Blaney. Blaney's not going to have anything for him. Blaney's got to be the slowest car on the racetrack right now.
Pit, this lap. Pit.
Byron looking to the outside.
Alright, hold your line. All clear. Car right. Clear.
Power slide all the way through turns 1 and 2. Byron clears him on the outside. Almost done. I'm hoping to pit this time. Probably lap 42. Blaney will pit lap 42. We know he's going to be good on field at the end of the stage. And nope, he's actually going to pit this time. Blaney will pit this time. Not going to even go another lap. Doesn't want to speed. 45 miles per hour is the speed limit. That's what he got to the commitment line. So 4 tires and fuel will be the call for Ryan Blaney. Going to move the wedge back up 2 rounds, as well as the air pressure back down 2 pounds all the way around to try and tighten up the race car again. Spotter says clear when there's clearly a car. I don't even pay attention to the spotter on this game anymore, so I miss half the stuff he says just because I learned to just black it out completely. So Blaney is in his box, 4 tires and fuel. Major adjustments on the 12 coming again as they went the wrong way with the adjustments during the stage break, and that has put him 2 laps down on the first 41 laps before pitting at lap 41 in this second stage. He's within the fuel window to make it to the end of stage 2. Not sure if the AI will pit during stage 2. They pitted at the end of stage 1, but we were also at the end of the fuel run. So if they pit about 75 laps in here, I would assume he will not pit again.
Got one right. Got one right.
Until then, and Blaney back on the track. He's got fresher tires, looking to take advantage of it. Cycled out a couple seconds ahead of William Byron in the 24 car. If I had to guess, Blaney is 3 laps down right now and is on the brink of a 4th, so he really needs us to stay green. Has to stay green at least until we start seeing green flag pit stops, or Blaney's going to lose some laps here and take him out of the championship hunt as he sits in 32nd. Yeah, the car definitely feels... The drive off is just so much better. Middle off with this setup.
Stay right.
To the outside of Corey LaJoie, blows by him off turn 4. Blaney back on the attack again. Gets by the 7th place car of Kyle Larson. I'd say 41 lap to be exact. Fresher tires. Definitely faster than the other leaders right now.
Got one left. Clear all around.
But then when everybody else pits is when they're going to be faster than Blaney, and they're going to be pitting in about another 30 laps or so. Maybe a little more than that.
All clear.
Blaney trying to make all of his time up in that time frame.
Car right.
If there is to be a caution in the stage that could help the 12, it'd have to be after all the lead lap cars pit under green flag. Blaney's already driven himself back up to 25th after cycling out of the pits in 32nd. Even just 41 lap fresher tires definitely making a major difference right now.
Stay right.
I wonder what the 90-degree temperatures and being in the sun with no overcast skies at all, no clouds. I wonder if that is actually the reason why Blaney didn't have that adjustment change work and why it was too loose.
Clear, 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 clear.
Moved it back to the way it was. Truex in 6th. Logano likely still in 5th. Joey Logano definitely pulling away from Martin Truex Jr. at this point in the run. Truex just got us to hope that he's going to be on the lead lap to the end of the stage. We know Kyle Busch is 1 lap down, as he still sits in 19th.
Car right.
Then he's going to blow around him.
Clear,
Not for
clear,
position,
clear.
of course.
Stay left. Clear, clear.
Hamlin, who won
clear,
stage
clear.
1, is actually in 5th right now, not Joey Logano. Logano's in 4th and has a few lap cars between himself and Hamlin. Joey Logano trying to win his 2nd career championship tonight Phoenix. Oh, Blaney almost turned the 11 of Hamlin.
All clear.
Hamlin saved it. That would have been a terrible caution for Ryan Blaney. Luckily, Hamlin straightened that out. Blaney kind of straightened the 11 out, to be completely honest. Drove through him so badly that it actually kept the 11 car straight. But if Hamlin would have spun out there, then Blaney would have gotten trapped 3 laps down.
Car right. Clear, clear. Car right.
Toothbrush was invented in Kentucky. That's the random interesting fact of the night. I did not.
Stay right. Clear, clear.
Contact with his teammate Logano.
Still there. Clear,
Oh, just
clear.
squeezed
Clear,
in
clear.
between the 22 and the 9. He was trying to get down to the bottom with the 34 of McDowell in front of Elliott. Logano to the inside of Elliott now for 3rd place in turns 3 and 4. He's going to get by him. Harvick in 2nd. And again, we know Byron is the leader.
Got one right. Clear, clear, clear. Car right. All clear.
There's a couple cars on pit road right now, lap 55 in the stage. Might be a couple lap cars, because there were cars pitting about this time. And there were probably only about 3 or 4 cars that actually pitted under green flag conditions back in stage number 1. Blaney needs these guys to stay out of the pits a bit longer for him to make up the 2 laps he lost under green flag conditions. First and foremost. We know in his original setup he could stay on the lead lap. And even be competitive enough for a top 10.
Got one right.
And he pulls by Kevin
All
Harvick in the
clear.
4.
Car right. All right, hold your line. Clear, clear, clear. Car right. Clear all around. Got one right. Got one right. All clear.
All the way down to the apron. He gave Quinn Half way too much room that time. Through 3 and 4. About halfway through stage 2. And we're about 23 laps shy of the halfway mark in this race overall. Looks like Christopher Bell in 8th place is a lap down, considering William Byron is in front of him somewhere on the racetrack.
All clear.
Not sure exactly where the 24 car is at. I think I see him a little further up ahead. He's just getting off turn 2. He's not in that 4 car group ahead of Bell, but I think he's in the next 3 to 5 car group ahead of them. He's on the inside, I believe, just getting up off the corner. Then he gets by Bell. Blaney's back to 20th.
2 on the outside. You're 3. Got one right. All clear. One left.
He's slingshotting inside out, just trying to get by these guys as quick as he can.
Got one right.
Byron on the inside of the 8 of Tyler Reddick currently. Ryan Blaney should get back to 2 laps down, which is where he was prior to him pitting.
Clear, clear.
And the leaders still have to pit yet. So he's probably on pace to getting at least 1 lap back, but that only put him 1 lap down and not on the lead lap. And again, he'll have older tires compared to everybody else too. And there's the 24 of Byron right in front of him.
Got one right.
So if we get a caution, Blaney will be 2 laps down
All clear.
instead of 3, which is right where he was anyway. Size E's, what's the final 4? So it's at the top of the screen when it does scroll through, but Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. are the 4 drivers battling for the championship. Byron trying to get his 4th win of the season.
Car right.
Should actually be the second
Clear,
most
clear.
of any other driver this year. He's able to win today's race. Still going to finish outside the top 4 in points.
Two on the outside. You're
3 wide action off turn 4. And he's already caught Kyle Busch again quickly. Larson's in 7th, and he's towards the tail end of the lead lap as well. I think Byron has just overall picked his pace up. Blaney's pace definitely dropped. The setup changes at the end of stage 1, but Byron's picked up a bit.
Three wide. You got 2 up top. Car right.
And
All clear.
Keselowski
Three
almost
wide.
turned his
2 outside.
teammate. He's actually 3 wide with another one of his teammates, Austin Cindric, on the outside in the 33.
Clear, clear. Stay left.
Probably at least 10 laps away from seeing other drivers hit pit road.
Clear all around. Stay left.
And he's got a better long run car than a
Clear,
short
clear.
run car.
Clear, clear.
So his pacing on the longer run is better. It doesn't mean that he's necessarily faster as far as lap times go later in the run than what he was shorter in the run, but it just means his pacing is better than everybody else's on the long run. Dirt at Talladega. Yeah, we'll just start throwing dirt everywhere now. You know what? Why not just run the Daytona 500 on dirt at this point? That Chicago street race they're supposed to have next year, just throw dirt on it. NASCAR fans, some of them might be complaining about a street race right now. We'll just throw dirt on it. Dirt's the answer to everything.
Got one right. Clear all around.
TDE CJ4, thanks for tuning in. Bring back Kentucky.
Got
I
one
think
right.
Kentucky,
Got one right. Clear, clear.
they had a couple of pretty solid finishes those last couple years.
clear.
I think 2019 was probably the best Kentucky race in general. That was one of the tracks where I don't think the 550 package really hurt or helped it. Like, the 550 package kind of diminished some of the other, mile and a halves that were good,
All right.
made them not as good or bad.
Clear, clear, clear.
But I feel like Kentucky, the track itself is just so flat, so hard to
Alright.
pass on already. It's such a different mile and a half from any other circuit.
Car right.
But the passing was at least there more so than Texas, because their repave and reconfiguration of Kentucky was in the early 2010s. So that means there's a little bit more wear on the surface, especially now versus a Texas Motor Speedway that's only been 4 or 5 years in. Still relatively has no loss of grip.
Got one right.
So I wouldn't be opposed to Kentucky coming back on the schedule, honestly.
Got one right.
Plus, with the next-gen car driving better than the Gen 6, both before the 550 package and after as well, I think
Stay right.
higher probability that it could be a better race there.
One left.
Why not?
All
Red
clear.
Wolf 1, thanks for tuning in. When will the next-gen cars be released? Sometime in September, that's all I know. I know as much as you guys. September, parking was insane. I was at the 2018 Kentucky race. I didn't think it was too bad, at least at that time. I'm sure in the earlier races it was. And I know it's been well documented that the parking there was pretty bad in that essence. But at least when I was there in 2018, and it was a fairly packed crowd, I don't remember it being that bad, to be completely honest. I parked on the backstretch though too, so maybe it just wasn't bad in that area. But I didn't feel like I had any trouble getting out of there. It wasn't like Gateway this year, or Nashville last year, personally.
Stay left. All
Michigan's
clear.
always pretty bad because there's no connecting highways anywhere near the track. At least there's one connecting highway, literally right off the backstretch at Kentucky. Michigan is just a bunch of country roads. Road America was pretty
Got one right.
long getting out of, too. Kind
Clear,
of the
clear,
same
clear.
thing, out in the middle of nowhere. Joey Logano's got a really fast car. He's made the right adjustments during the stage 1 break. He's closing in on Kevin Harvick for second. And we've got one car peeling off. Cindric will pit this time by lap 75. And this is the amount of laps that we ran in stage 1. Probably going to see more drivers pitting sometime soon. Blaney going to get by Joey Logano through turns 3 and 4. Quickly to the inside of the 4 of Harvick, who is in second.
Clear, clear.
Goes by him on the front stretch as well. Definitely going to have to watch the cars that are pitting. Blaney doesn't run them over, risk bringing out a caution. We've been seeing some cars pit here recently. If he can get another lap back on the race leader, Byron, wherever he is at, that'd be ideal.
Clear all around.
Then he back to 14th. .40 laps to go, stage 2.
Car right.
Yeah, I think North Wilkesboro will be a fun
All
time
clear.
for sure. Can't wait to go there. First one sucked beat on the highway. Were you able to get in before the start of the race? Because I know a lot of fans weren't able to. Kind of curious where you were at in that whole spectrum. Blaney back inside the top 10.
Three wide. You got two up top.
I think Joey Logano just cycling off of pit road. He came to a stop. My goodness, almost wrecking some cars there. Blaney up into the wall. Not sure what happened to Joey Logano, but he kind of came to a complete stop. That was after exiting pit road. I think Truex is going to do the same thing. No, Truex didn't do the same thing. I don't know. For whatever reason, Logano stopped. It's kind of similar to what Cindric did in practice when you guys saw it. And Truex had a faster stop than Logano. And by the way, Blaney's going to be back on the lead lap because Truex is in 6th. Logano is in 8th right behind him. So Blaney will be back on the lead lap once the leaders all cycle through. That's why he's in 7th place right now. Not sure if Byron is already pitted or not. So I'm not sure if Blaney is back on the lead lap as of right now. Byron in the 24 is a few seconds behind him, it looks like. So I think Byron already pitted. Logano closing in on Blaney right now. He's just got to get through these other lap cars that still have to pit a lot better than the 22.
Clear, clear, clear. Got one
We're
right.
chopping off the 12. And he had to tap the brakes a little bit off the exit of turn 2 to keep
Still
from
next to you.
running into the 51 of
Clear,
Ware.
clear.
Just want to bring out a caution.
Stay left. Clear,
You're trying to
clear,
stay on the lead lap to the end of the stage.
One
The
left.
outside of
Clear,
Priest.
clear, clear.
Slowed down the middle of the corner and slowed up Logano a bit off the exit of turn 2. I just don't see Blaney hanging on every lap to the end of the stage. The one thing he can do... Oh, jeez, Logano just doored him.
All clear.
Logano's got to get going too, though. Remember, if Byron laps Logano and Truex before the end of the stage, then Blaney will be a lap down as well as the 22 to 19. So at least for the championship's sake, those are the only guys he's racing for the title. He may be able to hang on.
Car right.
Byron to the outside will put Blaney a lap down.
One left. Clear, clear, clear.
He hangs on in front of Ryan Priest for the time being. Racing 28 still stuck behind the 12. Logano stuck behind. It looks like BJ McLeod in the 78 car for Live Fast, and Byron's closing in now behind Haley and Logano. So if William Byron laps Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. before the end of the stage, then sure, Blaney will be a lap down at the end of stage 2, but so will the 22 and the 19, who are also battling for the championship. So that is what Blaney's hoping for right now to the end of this stage with being a lap down. He's also got to hope he doesn't fall a second lap down, which I don't think will happen. You never know. You have 30 laps to go in the stage. His pace is not great because now he's on about 30 lap older tires than the rest of the field. He can just not get ran over by every car that's trying to pass him and run decent laps. I think he might have a shot at holding on. We definitely know Blaney's going to pit during the stage break. Not sure if anybody else will or not. We know he plans
Stay
on it.
left. Clear, 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 clear.
Why'd they go for Pennzoil to Shell? I mean, it's technically still Pennzoil. Like, it's called Shell Pennzoil, I think. Jeez.
Rewind, 2 outside.
That was a hard lick to the back of
Got one
Chastain.
right. Clear, clear, clear. Got one left.
And that's something that Blaney doesn't need to have happen because that slowed him down quite a bit in the middle of the corner. Now he's got more cars right on his back bumper into 3 and 4. BJ McLeod is slower than he is, though. Seems that way, at least.
Car
Blaney
right.
to the inside of the
Clear,
78.
clear. Stay left. All clear.
Benedetto into the back of the 12. Definitely a hole in the nose of the race car after getting into Joey Logano. That might slow the 12 car down as well. Logano had that checkup coming out of the pits. I'd be surprised if Brady is on the Raiders. Talk about like Madden 23.
Got one right. Clear, clear, clear. Stay right. Clear all around. One left. All clear.
To shelf some gas. Man, Byron's got such a big gap built up on Harvick at second. Chase Elliott up to third after pit stops as well, closing in on Harvick for P2. We know the field will get bunched back together for at least one more restart. Whenever that final stage gets underway. Harvick gets by Ryan Blaney.
Got one left.
Elliott into the left rear corner panel of Ryan Blaney. Blaney's just got to hope he doesn't get turned by any of these guys as well. Closing up quickly to his back bumper like that. I think Byron's pace is quick enough. He's going to catch Blaney and put him 2 laps down. I have a bad feeling. I'm only hoping that at the very least Truex and Logano are 1 lap down. And also hope that nobody pits during the stage break except for Blaney. They're not going to be at the end of their fuel run. They're going to be able to go about 30 laps roughly before they have to pit in the final stage. which is going to be borderline whether it's going to be a 1 or 2 stop final stage for the rest of the field,
Clear, clear,
as we
clear.
know it will be for the 12 and Blaney.
One left. All right, hold your line.
NASCAR
All right,
2,
clear,
thanks for
clear,
tuning in.
Clear, clear. One left. Still there. All clear.
He's still in the top 10, though, despite being a lap down in that 8th place position, right where he finished at the end of stage 1.
All clear.
I doubt he's going to be able to hold on to 8th, even if he does go a 2nd lap down. Like I mentioned, his pace is not there. With being a lap down at the line this time, there will actually be 19 laps to go in stage 2. Byron passed him at lap 85. It's been 11 laps since Byron has gotten around the 12. I would think he's a half track ahead at the pace he's running right now. And I actually see Martin Truex Jr., who was actually in front of the 12 by quite a bit when he came out of the pits.
One left.
Truex sits in 5th place. Kyle Busch up to 17th, but still
Stay left.
decent ways back yet. Bell in 9th, a little over a second behind Blaney. That would be for
Stay
position.
Clear, clear, clear.
Busch and Blaney almost made contact. Turns 1 and 2. Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 car is there. Blaney trying to hold up Truex.
Got one left. Clear,
Truex
clear.
gets into the side of Blaney, though, runs him up the hill, almost into the wall. Blaney's doing that because he knows the 24 car has to put the 19 at least 1 lap down. Blaney with a slide job on Truex. Truex gets by with the crossover. And Bell gets by for 8th place as well. $17 to go in the stage. At the line. Well, comment in the chat down below. Do you think Ryan Blaney is going to be able to finish this stage 1 lap down? Now Truex getting held up by the 52 of Bilicki. Bell's going to get by him. See Joey Logano. Byron has still not caught the 22 car yet. So Logano's still on the lead lap. In 6th. Just another incentive for Blaney to have to stay 1 lap down. The inside of Michael
Stay
McDowell.
right. Clear, clear. Stay right.
Car Josh Bilicki just up ahead.
All clear.
I don't see Byron yet, but I don't think Blaney's going to hang on. Where's the caution when you need it the
One
most?
left. Clear, clear. Car right.
Logano
All clear.
trying to get around the 52 of Bilicki. Blaney was able to get by him. That was allowing him to cross over the 22. It stinks because position-wise, Blaney's only 3 spots behind Logano and 4 behind Truex. And it's still stage 2. Trying to hold up his teammate in case the 24 of William Byron has a shot, but I think Logano's pace is so good on the long run as well as the 12s, even the 19s for that matter. 24 doesn't really have a shot to catch him. 13 laps to go, though, in stage number 2, and Blaney just has to make sure he's ahead of Byron when Byron crosses the line for the green-white checkered flag at the end of the stage, not for when Blaney does. Nerve-wracking times right now if you're Ryan Blaney in your championship hopes. And it's all because of that adjustment change that just went the complete opposite direction as what he would have hoped for. Went from too tight to too loose. There is one car on pit road. Can't tell who it is. I think it was Cindric. Actually, no, it wasn't Cindric. There's Cindric.
Stay right.
Bubba trying to get by.
3 wide. Get down
Blaney,
there. Still
3
there.
wide on the top. Blaney squeezed into the wall
Clear, clear, clear.
as he was 3 wide. Luckily, Didn't cut a tire in that. That's going to slow him down a bit. Get a lot of room as they were 3 wide heading towards turn 1. Alex Bowman is 1 lap down in 10th place, only a second behind Blaney for position.
Got one right.
Looking to get by him before the end of the stage. Blaney going all the way down to the apron. One car exiting pit road just up ahead. And getting into turns 1 and 2, it's Austin Dillon in the 3. It's going to hold up Bubba Wallace. And there's the 24 car, by the way, of William Byron. Blaney slides up in front of the 48 of Bowman. Byron down to the inside of the 48 car as well. And Blaney has to try to block Willie B. And Byron gets into the back of Ryan Blaney that time off turn 4 as Blaney holds on to his race car.
Car right.
He's got to hope for the best here.
Got one right. Clear all around.
Byron still stuck behind the 12. 8 more laps still. At a pace that we know the 24 is quicker than the 12. The 12 can't hook up the bottom lane too well that time. Byron going to get by. Blaney's going to have to send it deep into turns 1 and 2, trying for the crossover on the 24. Going to have to be aggressive with it. Oh, he got into him! Byron sends the 12 into the wall pretty hard. I don't know how Blaney didn't blow a tire in that. That was a hard lick into the outside wall. So much for the slide job. He was clear, but then the 24 just ran right into the back of him. And so much for the crossover. And Blaney is now 2 laps down. Who would have thought that Byron would be that much faster than everybody else today? And he held him up enough, and Logano was pulling away anyway. I don't think Logano or Truex are going to go another lap down to the end of the stage. So Blaney's going to be 2 laps down at the end of stage 2 now. Had to try short pitting. He was able to get back on the lead lap, but obviously on the 30-lap older tires, it gave those 2 laps back up again in the final laps of the second stage. He's got to hope the field stays out during the stage break when he pits so he can take on fresher tires and try to make time back up again. It's going to be difficult, though, because it's going to be a one-stop final stage for pretty much everybody, whether you pit during the stage break or not. So he's got about those first 30 laps of the final stage to try to make that time up. I do think the final stage is a bit longer than stage 2, though, so maybe they'll have to pit twice. So if he can minimize... I mean, I don't think he's going to make up 2 full laps, necessarily, off of just pitting one last time, but if he can make up that time the first 30 laps and potentially pit the same time as everybody else and then kind of go from there, will he have the pace? Because he had the pace to stay on the lead lap with this setup. Now he's back on the same setup he was at the start of the race. He unfortunately just had to run 41 laps the way it was before that. This would stink if we lose the Cup Series championships back-to-back nights on 2 different games. Blaney's ran a good race today. Been punting around a lot. See the damage on the car as a result.
One left, low.
Kind of a product of this game. Knew it was going to happen. And him himself just hasn't made a mistake. The only mistake was just not making the right adjustment change. Not have thought the car was going to be that loose. From super tight on entry to still staying tight on entry, super tight, and then super loose off exit. Or we were stable off exit. It was pretty good on the drive off. So Byron has definitely lapped Ryan Blaney twice, and when he crosses the start-finish line this time by, it will end stage 2.
Stay right. One down low. Clear all around.
Stay out during the stage. Get your laps back and then pit later. I don't know what you mean by that. We can't get our laps back, unfortunately, by staying out. If I stay out and get the wave around, I'm going to be slow again anyway, because I'm already slower than them now. We're going to have to pit. Whether they pit or not, we have to pit. William Byron will win Stage 2. Chase Elliott will end up finishing in second. Denny Hamlin third. Kevin Harvick fourth. And then your Championship 4 leader right now would be Martin Truex Jr. fifth at the end of Stage 2. Logano battling for the championship right behind him in 6th place. Kyle Larson in 7th. Christopher Bell 8th. Alec Bowman 9th. Matt DiBenedetto passed Blaney on that final couple laps there for that 10th spot. So Blaney ends up finishing 8th in Stage 1, 11th in Stage 2, and lost 2 laps in that final stage as well. Bell's a lap down. I'm not sure if Larson's a lap down or not. We know Logano Truex are on the lead lap, so there may only be 6 or 7 cars on the lead lap when we start the final stage. So yeah, gonna have to pit here. And again, the hope is that nobody else pits, because if everybody else pits, then there's no way Blaney's gonna make up 2 laps on speed. Alright, so that's the original setup in the car. No setup changes will be made for this final stage. Wait to see if he's the only one. We're not really going to know if he's the only one to pit until after everybody pits. By the way, that's the 7th stage win of the season for William Byron. And when Denny Hamlin won Stage 1, that was his 4th stage win of the season. Green flag back in the air.
2 inside, you're 3 wide.
Jesus, Kevin Harvick. Going up the middle there on the restart. Side lane got jacked up quite a bit. Lenny trying to get to the bottom if he's on front. Oh, we got a big wreck. Multiple cars flipping in turns 1 and 2. Caution's out. Caution is out again. Lenny gonna stay out. Look at this. Oh my goodness. That was Chase Briscoe that was going upside down over and over. And I think Brendan Gaughan in the 62 as well flipped. Green flag back in the air again.
3 wide, 2 outside.
I don't know how that happened. They were probably 3 or 4 wide. Getting into the first turn. And we saw those 3 or 4 cars flipping all of a sudden. A lot of 3x3 racing going on again in turns 1 and 2. Ryan Blaney looking to make this time up. Well, that's a couple less laps under green flag that these guys have to run, so it's less laps for Blaney to try to make this time up. That was the first caution for incident today. It was a massive one. I do think Blaney's got roughly 40 lap pressure tires versus the rest of the field, because he's making a lot of passes right now very quickly after the restart. So nobody pitted during the stage break except for Blaney versus Stage 1. They all pitted during the stage break. So we're probably looking at them pitting right around 30 laps into this stage. Or right around there. And then running the rest of the race from that point on.
Stay left. Clear all around.
Lenny trying to make up 2 full laps. Back up to 11th after the restart.
Stay high. Still there. Clear, clear, clear. Stay right. All right, keep it high. Still there.
Outside of Austin Dillon in the 3. Crosses him over off turn 4, down to the bottom, gets by Reddick on the front stretch. There's Logano and Truex battling for 5th and battling for the championship right now as the 19 and the 22. Blaney's really been nowhere near them for position, at least all day today. Except for that restart to Stage 1. And then just cycling out of the pits, but they were on much fresher tires. Blaney slides up in front of both race cars that time. Logano going to get by Truex as well, complete the pass as he followed the 12 car on the inside line. Hamlin Harvick pulling away on the restart this time, and William Byron in the 24 is back in 3rd. Curious as to how the 4 and the 11 pulled away. So, oh my gosh. That's a wreck. Caution's out. That's probably going to trap Blaney another lap down. I mean, Byron checked up so much more than Blaney anticipated going into turn 3, and Blaney just ran right through him, and that's going to be our 4th caution of the night, 2nd for incident. That is unfortunate. I don't think the field's going to pit here, but they may. It doesn't look like the rest of the field's on pit road, but I just have a feeling with that caution, Blaney's going to be a lap down. Another lap down. He was already 2 laps down, so that's why he's pitting again. Larson's on... There are other cars on pit road. Not a lot of them, but there are some in the pits. Kyle Larson's in. Not a caution Blaney needed. Survived that first wreck on the restart, but not that one. Green flag back in the air. We're not going to know how many laps down we are either, unless we pass the leaders enough times anyway.
You're in the middle here, 3 wide.
I was checking up so much on the start.
Car right. 3 wide. You got 2 up top. Clear, clear, clear. 2 on the outside.
Stacking up. Oh, the pace car's on the track.
Got 1 right.
The pace car is on the racetrack, stacking up the field. Blaney in the wall. Didn't blow a tire, thankfully. Oh, we've seen about everything tonight. Glitch-wise. I think the pace car did get into the pits.
Three wide, you got 2 up top. 3 wide, you got 2 up top. 3 wide, you got 2. Stay left, stay left, stay left.
Blaney's got the pressure tires again, but again, he's probably almost got into Kurt Busch. Charged hard again into turns 1 and 2 to get by him. A new race contender, the pace car.
Clear, clear. Stay left. Clear, clear, clear. Car right. Clear all around. Got 1 right.
Byron falling back to 6th on the last restart as well. So William Byron not doing so hot on the restarts, even though he's got good long run pace. He's looking so dominant in stage 2. He is really falling off. Blaney back inside the top 10. First time since the start of stage 3.
Clear, clear.
And we are down to about 100 laps to go tonight at Phoenix.
Car right. Clear,
Down to about
clear.
100 laps left. Time is running out for Ryan Blaney to try and win this championship, and he's got to make up at least 2 laps. He should only be 2 laps down, but I have a bad feeling he may be 3 down. The car just came into the pits. Probably still a little early for green flag pit stops for the leaders, especially with the 2 cautions that came out. I wouldn't be surprised if it was maybe closer to about lap 40, 45 before they pit now. Yeah, missed a massive wreck with 2 cars flipping on the restart of stage 3. You missed the pace car glitch, which was a separate deal. I find it weird how the top 2 pull away so far in the restart. I think that time it was because of the pace car being out on the track, but even the 2 times before that, 3 times before that, any restart. Probably how Byron had such a big lead on Harvick. He probably just pulled away on the start for some reason. Will we go green to the end, though, as we've gone at least a few laps since the last restart this time? Interesting. I wonder if it's possible that the top two on the racetrack now have already pit. Because there were cars on pit road during the stage break. Or sorry, not during the stage break, but during the first caution of the stage. We saw those cars flipping.
Stay left. Clear, clear.
Larson was one of them, and if he was on the lead lap, I would imagine he's one of the leaders right now.
Stay left. All clear. 3 wide, 2 outside. Got 1 right.
And he using Gase as
Clear,
a
clear.
pit car to get by Stenhouse. So the 2 laps Blaney is down is not because of a game glitch, unfortunately. He just went the wrong way on a setup change at the end of stage 1, got hung out to dry. Ended up losing the first 2 laps in the first 41 laps of stage 2. Then pitted to try and get the time back by short pitting, which he was able to get back on the lead lap, but in the final 40 laps of the stage, by the time everybody else made their green flag stop, Blaney ended up giving those 2 laps right back up again on older tires. Pitted during the stage break, which leaves him to have fresher tires than the rest of the field right now. We've had 2 early cautions in this stage, so that's going to hinder the amount of laps we have left as far as green flag racing for Blaney to try and gain this time back. He's on fresher tires as of right now.
Got 1 right.
Needs to beat Truex and Logano. He doesn't have to win the race, but he just needs to beat the 22 and the 19. He's already ahead of the 18 of Kyle Busch, who is also multiple laps down. Busch was in 17th at the end of stage 2.
All right. Clear all
And
around.
having to beat Truex and Logano, who are both looking for their second title. Blaney, the only one of the 4 Championship 4 drivers looking for his first title. Busch already with 2, looking for 3 tonight.
Got 1 right. Clear all around.
Jesus.
Got 1
Well,
left.
that was all about it. I think Balicki might be on fresher tires. Might have been one of the few cars that pitted after the
Got 1
restart.
low. Clear all around. Stay left. Clear, clear.
I overdrove that corner so much trying to get back to the inside of Balicki. Bowman in 9th. Blaney's definitely closing on the 48. I think he means points don't matter in this race because it's a championship race and it's just whoever finishes best between the 4. Stages matter for everybody else in the points that are still fighting for 5th of the playoff drivers who were eliminated, and then for 17th as far as the drivers who didn't make the playoffs entirely.
Clear all around.
As far as the championship 4, points do not matter today. All about where you finish at the end of the race.
Got 1 right. Clear all around. Got 1 right. Clear, clear, clear.
Oh, I was 2 laps down at the end of stage 2, still 2 laps down right now in 9th. Everybody has to pit one more time. I mean, Blaney could stay out. Everybody's going to have to pit before him. It's going to depend on when they pit, because there are more laps in this final stage, which I didn't factor in initially. But with the 2 cautions, I think they're still going to be able to make it, you would think.
Clear all around.
They were able to save enough fuel during the 2 cautions to still make it on 1 stop in the final stage. And maybe that's the one hope Blaney's got left. That he can stretch this out on 1 stop, which we know it's an easy 1-stopper for the 12. I think if you're Ryan Blaney, you pit as soon as there's 75 laps to go. Unless the rest of the field hasn't pit yet, then you stay out on these fresher tires until they pit. Get any more cautions again, though, that hinders everything too. Not going to be adjusting anything during this final stop. I think I learned my lesson trying to make adjustments during the first stop of the race today. Just trying to make sure it's not going to have any damage for repair when I make the green flag stop at some point in this final stage. It's going to cost me time. It's not even going to fix anything either. Kind of meant to turn that off when I pitted under the last caution. Yeah, we do have some cars on pit road now that are coming in frequently. Nobody that has been ahead of Blaney yet in the running order is pitted, though, so Blaney's still in 9th.
Car right.
I mean, that'll get real loose off turn 4. Last, we're going to see Benedetto as well. Harrison Burt will drive the 21 car in the NASCAR 22 update, as he is in real life this season.
Stay left. Still there. Clear, clear. Got one right.
Blaney up to 7th now. He's gained 2 spots.
Clear all around.
Not sure who won exactly, but he has gained 2 positions. Hamlin in 2nd, still has a pit. The race leader hasn't pit yet either. Kevin Harvick, by the way, is the leader. Cindric's in. Larson pitted during the stage break, so unless he's out of the race for some random reason, and that was the reason he was on pit road. Truex is in right now. I just saw Truex in the pits. Blaney back in the top 5, so I believe he gained a spot on Martin Truex Jr. And as of right now, there's about 80 laps to go. So it's not a guarantee that Truex can make it on fuel to the end of the race. 72 to 84 laps is the fuel window at this track on this game. Martin Truex Jr. is going to have to go 80 laps on fuel to try to make it to the end.
3 wide middle.
Bowman just coming out of the pits. Oh my goodness, it just checked off right in front of the 12. I should have known that was going to happen. It happened to Logano earlier. That's going to slow down Blaney. Luckily he didn't turn him. I don't know. It's going to be close. They're within the window to make it on fuel to the end, but they're also within that window. They may not make it to the end on fuel. If you do get any more cautions, they're going to have a better shot of trying to save. Though if a caution comes out right now, though, Blaney would be on the same lap as them. So it might actually be worth a yellow coming out, because then he can pit. We don't know exactly if he can make it, because we're not quite at 75 laps to go yet. But at least if he can't make it, neither will anybody else. He's only 1 lap behind, or 1 second rather, behind Blaney.
3 wide, 2 outside.
Jeez, Corey LaJoy.
Stay left. Pits are closed.
Caution, he spins.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Caution is out.
Hard left. Yep, passing under yellow.
Caution is out. It was 3 wide in the corner, but then LaJoy turned down on the 12 car after they were already 3 wide. Blaney made the late dive into the corner, but Corey LaJoy did not give him a lot of room either. There wasn't a lot of room to be had considering it is a short track and they were 3 wide. I'm going back to watch that real quick. I'm going back to watch this. It looked like the 7 moved down. Yeah, Blaney already had his left side tires on the yellow line. LaJoy just kept moving down. That's not the caution we needed because we can't pit for fuel or tires right now. That was all LaJoy, yeah. I mean, we were 3 wide. If we weren't 3 wide, that wreck probably wasn't going to happen, but we're just going to stay out because I don't want to risk going another lap down if I pit. But at the same time, that's not a good caution, though, because now everybody might have a better shot at making it to the end on fuel, so I don't know. Green flag back in the air. To the restart we go at the Phoenix Raceway. Inside line did not take off well on the restart. Oh, the pace car's on the racetrack again. Pace car on the track again.
Clear, clear, clear.
And we've got some cars wrecking. That's going to be a caution. Well, that's what Blaney needed because now he can pit for fuel and tires, and he's going to make it to the end of the race. Second time the pace car's been on the track bringing out an accident today, but this time it's going to spark a caution flag that Blaney needed and was not involved in. So now he can't pit for fuel and tires. I'll take it. First time the pace car was on the track, it didn't cause a wreck, but that time it did. He was right in the middle of the racetrack. The leaders got by, but then mid-pack cars ended up piling in.
They got us for passing under yellow.
Well, Blaney's not on the lead lap. Still, 2 laps down. But so is Martin Truex Jr. and Joey Logano, and now Blaney's on equal tires with the 19 and the 22. And with the cautions, they may be able to make it on fuel to the end.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
And we've got, Logano just ran into the pace car. We've got more cars running into the pace car. Blaney down to the bottom to miss it. They're stacking up. Are we going to get another caution? That's the 3rd pace car glitch tonight. It's been inconsistent under the cautions. The pace car will get into the pits. Benedetto dive bombs on Blaney.
Clear, clear.
Well, this is the race, ladies and gentlemen. It is between the 22, the 19, and the 12. None of them are on the lead lap, but they're all on the same lap, and they'll be battling for the championship. I think Busch is still a lap or 2 behind him yet.
Car right. Clear, clear.
Blaney hasn't had the speed the 22 and the 19 have had all day. Probably going to have to hope for lap traffic to play a big factor, but we'll see.
Stay left, stay left. Clear, clear, clear.
That was the one pace car glitch or just NASCAR 21 ignition glitch that actually helped us. I think there are only 2 cars on the lead lap, which would be Hamlin and Harvick. So the race is between them now. At least Blaney has a shot, some way, shape, or form, to beat the 22 and the 19.
Car right.
That's all he wanted, was the playing field to be even. Logano in 7th, Blaney 8th. Truex is definitely ahead of Logano, but not sure exactly what position Truex is in. Other than 6th or anywhere between 3rd to 6th, really. And Logano just passed Chase Elliott for 6th. And with all these cautions coming out, I think there's a good chance the leaders are going to make it on field to the end. Some lab cars that have been pitting, the 62 just checked up right in front of the 8 of Reddick.
Right.
And he's trying to get around race leader Denny Hamlin. Not going to happen there.
Clear all around.
Trying to get 1 lap back. I don't think Hamlin is pit. Yeah, I don't think Hamlin or Harvick can
Clear,
pit.
clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
So there might still be a shot at the win yet, if those 2 cars have not pitted during those couple cautions.
Stay left, stay left.
Which is also going to be interesting.
Clear, 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 clear. Car right. Clear, clear. Got 1 right. Clear all around.
And people wonder why people think of pace car drivers like they do. Yeah, like they do that in real NASCAR races. They just pull out in the middle of the racing line as the field's taking the green and causing some big wrecks.
Car right. Clear, clear, clear.
I think with all the cautions we've seen today, we've had 4 for incident in the final stage. We had no cautions for incident in the first 2 stages. And then we saw a flip on the restart, multiple flips in the same wreck on the restart with Chase Briscoe and Brendan Gaughan to start stage 3, and pretty much from there we've had infrequent yellows. Was that last restart the final one to the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see. Well, 60 laps to go. Logano, Truex, Blaney all lapped down, all inside the top 10 though. Only 2 cars on the lead lap. I believe still have to pit before the end of the race. I could be wrong on that, but I believe they still have to pit. If they do though, I think they're going to be able to make up that time on fresher tires to at least get back into winning this race. Have to assume at least. More wrecks equals more entertainment. NASCAR Mario Kart. Kind of goofy. Yeah, rather than, you know, throwing a banana out the rear windshield, we'll just have the pace car wreck the field. Problem is, like I mentioned, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. much faster than Ryan Blaney. And he can't even see the 20. Well, he can see the 22 up there. And he's a lot smaller out of the windshield than what he once was. Over a full straightaway behind Logano. R6, welcome into the stream. 20 viewers currently, 21 likes on the stream. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. 56 laps to go in the Championship 4 race at Phoenix. Another car on pit road, couldn't tell who it was. I think it was Newman. I can't believe William Byron's fell all the way back to 9th. Kyle Busch in the 18 car is up to 13th. But he is a full lap behind the 12, 19, and the 22, and he's about to lose his second lap once Hamlin and Harvick a little further behind are going to catch him. Definitely tell Busch is on older tires.
Got one right. Clear all around. Clear all around.
Yep, 22 likes now. It's about as fast as Blaney's been all day position-wise, so it's kind of fitting he's in 8th. Not going to complain about that, even though we're a lap down. It hasn't really had the speed the 19 and the 22 have had today. He's been better on the longer run than anybody else on equal tires. So we'll see if he can run them down over the course of time. So right now his pacing's not there. We need a lot of help from lap traffic. Pushed it a little too hard that time, almost into the wall. Trying to brake as late as he could into the corner, run the outside. Just trying something different. I don't think you can blame him for that. Desperate times call for desperate situations, and he's in a desperate situation. At least unlike the championship race at Homestead and NASCAR 6 last night, at least we have a shot at closing laps. Not going to finish on the lead lap likely again, just like last night, but at least there's a shot at the title still. Don't have to win the race, just got to be the best of the 4. All of them in the top 13 right now. Christopher Bell back to 7th, so Logano and Elliott are 6th and 7th. Elliott just made a pass on Bell for the spot on the 20.
Stay left. Clear,
And he gets
clear.
by Balicki. I think I just saw Hamlin in the pits. Might have to win the race to win the title if Harvick and Hamlin can't get back up there. I would have to imagine they would be able to because we still have exactly 50 to go right now. Hamlin's just coming out of the pits. Hamlin's still the leader after pitting. I think Hamlin and Harvick trapped the field 3 laps down because of the cautions that were coming out repeatedly, at least.
Got one right.
You'd hope that's the case. Blaney gonna get by Bell for 7th. At least he's catching up to some cars that are on the same lap as him for position.
Car right. Clear, clear. Car right.
However, Ryan Blaney has not won since the first race of the round of 12 at Las Vegas. Hamlin gonna put him another lap down. Big dive into the corner by Blaney. Gets by Timmy Hill. Back by Hamlin. Reddick down to the inside. And Reddick side by side as they close on the 99 of Suarez.
Rewind. You're up
The
top.
outside
Got one
lane.
left.
Blaney gets by the 99 of
Clear,
Suarez and Tyler Reddick. Reddick got held up behind the 99 on the front stretch. Then he closing in on Chase Elliott. In 6th as well. Yeah, so Hamlin. If Blaney's on the lead lap now, I mean he should be on the lead lap, and Hamlin should be in 8th technically behind him. If the scoring glitches weren't a thing in this game, then Harvick and Hamlin would actually technically be on the lead lap behind Blaney. But they would definitely have enough speed to get back through everybody else on fresher tires to the end. So I don't think there's any denying the fact that they're still going to win on the strategy, even if it didn't trap more cars a lap down. Kyle Larson in 5th place, also right in front of Elliott. Chase pulls to the inside of him on the front stretch, and they're door-to-door from 5th place into turns 1 and 2. So that means that Martin Truex Jr. and Joey Logano are 3rd and 4th,
Got one left.
which would technically be 1st and 2nd as of right now. Hamlin blows by Blaney off turn 2. Hamlin to the inside of Larson now. He couldn't get the car to turn in the dirty air that time. He's going to go down to the apron off the exit of turn 4, and he's going to try to get by Larson on the front stretch. And will do so. Pass for 6th. Says high in the running order, Ryan Blaney has been all night, other than the fact he qualified 2nd. On pace, this is as fast as he has been. There's a lot of traffic up ahead, too. Can't really see Logano in there at all. I wonder if Truex has gotten by, or the 22 has gotten by the 19 at all. I think I see Logano quite a ways up there still. The problem is he's passed every one of the cars that are around him, and I do see Truex. Hamlin's right behind him, at least it appears. So I believe Joey Logano would be in 3rd, and he would be the leader of the Championship 4 drivers. It might be a Penske duel between the 22 and the 12 for the title, as we have less than 40 laps to go. And then he closing on the 9 of Elliott. He's going to look to the inside, late dive into turns 1 and 2. Blaney slides up, clears Elliott. Elliott with the crossover, going to get back by Blaney. Here comes Harvick. He's trying to run down Hamlin for the win yet.
Still there. Clear all around.
And he's trying to get the turn in his race car versus Chase Elliott again. Blaney down to the apron through the dog leg. Can he get by Elliott this time and stay in front of him this time?
We've got the speed.
Deep dive into the corner.
Got one right.
Gets by Bowman in the 48 as well. Bowman into the back of the 12. Got him a bit loose. Blaney hangs on to it. Good battle for the win between Hamlin and Harvick in lap traffic as of right now. Be interesting to see if Harvick's going to be able to catch back up. Blaney's in P5. Truex 4th. Logano 3rd.
Clear.
Can Ryan Blaney steal this championship despite not winning the race tonight? And I say steal because outside of qualifying in second, where Truex and Logano qualified top 5 but just behind Blaney, that was the only time Blaney was ever ahead of those two drivers in the championship 4 battle. Busch on much fresher tires right now as well in 21st, but he's probably 2 laps behind the rest of the leaders, so he's going to have to make up 2 laps on his tires. I wouldn't count him completely out of it, but it's going to be tough for Kyle to catch up. Not impossible, just very difficult. If he gets a caution, it's going to be Busch's race to win. Depending on when he can catch the yellow. Contact with BJ McLeod. That slows down Ryan Blaney quite a bit. Off turn 4 as he got into the left rear corner panel in 78, trying not to cause a wreck, and losing another lap potentially to the 19 and the 22 as well. Comment in the chat down below, do you think Ryan Blaney will catch both Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. on this longer run in lap traffic before the end of the race and win the championship?
Clear all around. On the outside, here's 3. 3 wide, 2 outside. Got one right.
One car just coming out of the pits. I believe it's Christopher Bell in the 20. That's a tight squeeze for Blaney to get by Bell when he did. I think Bell's on the same strategy as Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin, pitting a little bit after the fact, but similar strategy, maybe not exactly the same.
Got one right.
He's also probably 2 laps. Well, he's probably 1 lap behind Blaney.
Clear all around.
Blaney passed him for position on the track beforehand. Slide job on him initially. Fell back down to the bottom.
Clear.
30 laps to go. That's Michael McDowell. I think that's Joey Logano up there in that bright yellow car. Truex, though, is not that much further ahead, only 2.5 seconds ahead of Blaney. Where is that 22 car?
Stay right. Clear all around.
I had enough with Corey LaJoy. Ran into the side of Blaney again there. He's the reason we're in this mess, as far as being trapped multiple laps down.
Got one left. Stay high.
He came out of the pits after pitting during green flag conditions, so he's on fresher tires on the 12.
Clear all around. Clear all around. Wide. You got 2 up top. 3 wide. 2 outside. Got one right. Clear.
And he's trying to clear the 62 car. Not quite going to be able to off the exit of turn 2. Still runs side by side down the back.
Still there. Clear, clear.
This is definitely coming down to the wire for the championship. Again, Blaney 5th. Truex 4th.
Got one right.
Logano 3rd. Contact between McDowell and Blaney as Blaney overdrives turns 1 and 2.
Got one right.
Slows him up as he's still alongside McDowell in the back straightaway.
Still there. All clear.
Blaney's faster than the 19, but still no sight of the 22 of Joey Logano.
Got one left. Clear all around.
Then he clears Haley and McDowell through 3 and 4, stays in front of him on the front stretch. There's a yellow car up there, but I don't know if that's Bell or if it's Logano. Tires are old for everybody right now. Another lap car just pitted. Stenhouse likely on fresher tires behind the 12 of Blaney, looking to get around him soon. Truex stuck behind Brad Keselowski. Keselowski maybe trying to help his Penske teammates out who have a shot at the championship yet. Deep dive into the corner. Blaney trying to get by the 43 of Eric Jones and does just that. Truex alongside Chastain might have had a little contact with him on the back straightaway. About a second back of the 19 is the 12 of Ryan Blaney. LaJoy on fresher tires on the 19 looking to get by him.
Car right.
Blaney goes 3 wide to the bottom of Brad Keselowski and Ross Chastain.
Got one right. All clear.
Keselowski just put... Oh, he turned him! Caution is likely going to come out, and yes, it does.
Why?
Contact between Brad Keselowski and Ross Chastain right in front of Ryan Blaney. Blaney misses it. Caution's out again. Oh my gosh. Our 7th of the race, and we're going to have pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Blaney is going to pit. I'm not sure if anybody else in the Championship 4 will pit, but Blaney will definitely pit. No adjustments, 4 tires and fuel. Truex and Logano are in as well. So Logano, Truex, and Blaney are all pitting right now as we have a caution with just over 20 laps to go. My goodness. Logano just beat... Oh, man. Logano beat the 12 out of the pits, but the 12, I believe, beat the 19.
Top 5. Here we go.
Well, I don't know how much that actually factors in. Green flag is back in the air. And will the pace car be back on the racetrack again, potentially as well? Blaney trying to get after it on this restart. He's alongside the 22 of Joey Logano. The championship battle's on. 3 wide for the lead. Blaney trying to squeeze, find his way in a line. Does just that. No pace car on the racetrack. Blaney up to 3rd. He is just in front of Logano. Oh, he just got squeezed. Logano into the back of the 12.
3 wide. You got 2 up top.
3 wide down to the bottom, trying to get by the lap cars who didn't pit on the restart.
All
Blaney had a good restart to get by the 22 and the 19. He was already in front of Truex, but then he got in front of Joey Logano. Blaney has not been as good on the short run or just overall in general compared to the 22. Longer run, he's better than the 19. But Truex is back in it as well with this caution. And that caution might have helped Ryan Blaney's championship hopes. Keselowski wrecked himself with Chastain. That might have given Blaney a shot to win the title. 15 laps to go at Phoenix. And a battle for the championship between the 22, the 12, and the 19. Blaney clears Buescher. Logano about 5 or 6 cars back. I have not won a championship on this game, just saying that. I haven't said it all night, but I'm 0 for 2, and this is the final chance. Coming to 13 to go, this time by Byron, by the way, up to 4th. He has passed Joey Logano for position.
Stay left. Clear, 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 clear.
The first time in NASCAR Cup Series history since the 16-man playoff was introduced that the winner of the race might not win the championship. Harvick and Hamlin shouldn't be on the lead lap. Or sorry, they're on the lead lap, but everybody else behind them shouldn't be. Byron to the back bumper, the 12 of Blaney for 3rd place. Blaney's not racing the 24. You know the 22 is fast in open traffic. There goes Byron. Equal tires as Blaney gets by him cleanly on the outside. Logano's 3 seconds behind Blaney in 5th. 11 laps to go at the line. Wilson in on his teammate Kyle, or teammate, but championship competitor Kyle Busch as well. Blaney gets by Busch. Stays in front of him. That's another car Logano's going to have to pass as well. 3 cars between the 12 and the 22 right now. Not sure if the one who is in 10th place is faster than the 12 or not. He may be. 2 seconds with 10 to go, separating the championship leaders. Both Penske teammates of Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. Blaney with 11 wins, Logano with 3.
Stay left.
Blaney on the inside of Harvick. There's contact. He overdrove the corner into the second place car. Kurt Busch just ran into the 12, knocked him into the wall. And here's Logano. That was a massive problem there for Ryan Blaney. I don't think he blew a tire though. He overdrove the corner into Harvick, and then Kurt Busch just walled Blaney as well. And here we go, the race for the championship. Logano to the outside.
All clear.
Blaney's going to have to go for broke. Down to the inside of the 22. He drives it in deep into the corner. Slides up, slides clear. Here comes Truex. 3-car battle for the championship as we'll be coming to 7 to go. Logano to the outside. Truex looking low. Harvick is now going to try to hold up the 22. 3 wide as the Penske Ford split the Ford of Kevin Harvick. Deep into the corner goes Ryan Blaney, trying to stay alongside the 22 of Joey Logano. It's not going to happen. Logano leads the championship battle. They'll be coming to 6 to go this time by. Blaney too hard into the corner. He's in the wall. Benedetto just got by Truex. There'll be more lap traffic to hold Joey Logano up. It's the last hope right now for Ryan Blaney is that there will be enough lap traffic ahead of the 22. 5 laps to go in the race for the championship. I wasn't going to wreck Logano. If I wrecked him, the caution came out. We were just going to have to restart. It wasn't going to do anything. Maybe we get another caution. There is a lot of lap traffic up ahead yet. Blaney's not done.
Clear, clear.
You just got to hope the 22 struggles in the lap traffic more than the 12. There are 2 cars side by side nearly. Now single file right in front of the 12. And one of them is, I believe, the 20 of Christopher Bell. They're fanning out. They're 3 wide in front of Logano. 3 wide in front of Joey Logano.
Still next to you.
Ryan Blaney going to get by Denny Hamlin. Now they're side by side in front of the 22. It's not over yet. We're coming to 3 to go.
Got one right.
Logano's getting held up in lap traffic. There's contact with Kurt Busch. Busch and Logano are door to door on the front stretch right now. Blaney is closing in.
Stay left. Stay
Logano
left.
gets by the 1 of Busch. Driving it in deep
Got one right.
into turns 1 and 2.
Car right.
Blaney on the inside of Bell, but he can't get by him. A lot more lap traffic still in front of the 22 of Joey Logano. 2 laps to go at the line, and the battle for the championship. Who's going to win it? Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. Don't forget about Truex. He's only half a second behind the 12. 3 wide. Into turns 1 and 2 goes Blaney, trying to get by the lap cars as quickly as possible.
Stay left.
No lap cars between the top 2 as they're on the back straightaway. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go this time by. Side-by-side lap traffic in front of Ryan Blaney. Here comes Blaney off turn 4. Actually, there's 2 to go. Okay, so 2 laps to go.
Clear.
There's 2 laps to go. They'll be coming to the white flag this time by. Truex into the middle.
Good progress so far.
Oh, Truex is going to get by Blaney on the outside.
Clear.
Truex is catching Joey Logano. Ryan Blaney's going to send it in turns 1 and 2.
Top 5. Here we go.
He drives into Logano. He just put him in the wall. And here comes Truex down to the bottom to take the championship lead off of turn 2. Martin Truex Jr. is going to go through 3 and 4 and win the title, passing both the Penske cars on the final lap. Truex is your champion on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Blaney gave it all he had in that final corner. He costed both himself and his teammate the title, but Truex is going to win it. Oh my gosh. And Logano still beat Blaney back to the line for second in the championship hunt. That was a win at all cost moment. And Martin Truex Jr. is the champion. Logano will finish second in points, Blaney third, Kyle Busch in fourth. Roger Penske would have fired Ryan Blaney for that move because it costed Blaney and Logano the championship. Wow. I tried. I wasn't trying to wall him, but I was trying to run into the side of him, and because I entered so deep, we just gravitated to the wall, and Truex got underneath both of us. I came down to the last lap. Lap traffic was the only reason I gave Blaney a shot there, plus the caution that bunched the field back up. That caution never came out. Truex wasn't going to win the championship if Keselowski and Chastain didn't wreck off turn 2. Because Truex was only a half a second ahead of Blaney. Blaney was faster than him, and that was still with like 20 laps to go. So Truex probably would have finished third. I don't know if Blaney would have caught Logano or not. That caution gave him a better opportunity, in my personal opinion. But needless to say, Logano, Blaney put it all on the line. 0 for 3 on NASCAR 21 Ignition, and I'd lost 2 Cup Series championships, 2 races in a row. I didn't have the car capable of beating Logano tonight. On the long run, I was faster than Truex. But on an equal run, couldn't beat the 22. And then sure enough, Truex was the one that won the title anyway. Wow. I'm surprised I even got underneath him. I drove it in so deep in the corner. There was a lap car, I think it was Suarez, between me and Logano going into turn 1, and I cleared the 99 and just drove it right into the side of the 22. I was never going to make that corner. Knew I was going to gravitate all the way to the wall. I saw Truex get down to the bottom. He barely squeaked by. I was trying to turn him. I'm going back to watch it again real quick because I saw Truex getting underneath us when me and Logano went to the wall, and then I've tried to turn down into him and hopefully hook him back up the track in front of Logano, who was still on the outside of me at the time. Like Boyer, Jeff Gordon all over again, only his teammates this time, unfortunately. But there was like 3 lap cars between me and Logano when I sent it. Chastain got into the back of me. I didn't even realize that. I noticed I got loose when I was turning down the track after the contact, but I think I was loose because the 42 hit me from behind. Maybe I would have had a shot to hit the 19 if the 42 didn't get me. And that cost him my momentum on the backstretch at the 42 hit me too. I might have been alongside Logano at the very least, even if I didn't get into Truex. Only leave that finisher, yeah. Denny Hamlin. That was well, see, Hamlin and Harvick would have been on the same lap. I should say Hamlin would have been on the same lap as the rest of the top 6. But not the last caution, but the couple cautions before that. I think it was the pace car yellow that trapped everybody else a lap down outside of the 4 and the 11. I don't know how the 4 got trapped a lap down off the last restart, or the last caution that we had. But Keselowski and Chastain wrecking, and then Hamlin was the only one to lead lap as a result of it. Crazy. Yeah, that's going to be a very uncomfortable team meeting tomorrow between Logano and Blaney. But heck of a finish to the season. Needless to say, it came down to the last lap. It was exciting. That was the most exciting championship loss I think I've ever had in the channel. So we're going to go through the full season stat line. Ryan Blaney ended up with 11 wins this year. This was top 10, number 16, 15 top 5s, 21 stage wins on the year, but not good enough for the championship, unfortunately. Even if we were in like a season-long points format, I didn't have the consistency throughout the course of the year. I had a lot of playoff points because of the wins, but I didn't have enough consistency. Logano was the regular season champion, but ends up finishing second in the points. And Martin Truex Jr., who won the championship, was actually at the start of the playoffs 200 points behind Joey Logano in the regular season standings. I think he was right around like 10th or so in the regular season standings. Actually, I think I have it. Truex was not even top 10 in the regular season standings. Blaney was 10th. And then the guy who finished 4th, Kyle Busch, was 8th. So, of everybody that was in the championship 4, Logano was the only one in the top 7 in the regular season standings. The other guys got there virtue of the playoffs. And there's the reason why we had a shot going for the title in the final race. Alright, well, that was that stat line. Your champion, Joey Logano, ends up with 17 top 5s, 26 top 10s, only 2 stage wins, 3 race wins this year. And then also with Denny Hamlin winning the season finale, that was Hamlin's 3rd win of the season. Also won a stage. He had 4 stage wins, 19 top 10s, 14 top 5s for Hamlin. The other championship 4 competitors, Kyle Busch had 3 wins, 7 top 5s, 14 top 10s, 4 stage wins. Martin Truex Jr. had 5 stage wins, 16 top 10s, 9 top 5s, 2 wins. So, yep, that pretty much is it. I don't want to go through everybody's stat line because I still have to work out today, and I'm going to have to go to bed for work. So, that's pretty much going to end it. All the drivers that had wins this season, by the way, there were 13 different winners. You see them at the top of the screen. Ryan Blaney had the most wins with 11. Joey Logano with 3. William Byron with 3. Denny Hamlin got his 3rd today. Kyle Busch had 3 wins also. Drivers with 2 wins would be Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick. Then there were 3 drivers with 1 win, which would have been Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, and Michael McDowell for the 13 different winners this season. We had 13 different winners in our NASCAR 6 season, 13 different winners in our NASCAR 21 Ignition season. And 1 underdog winner in both of them for the most part as well, as far as the whole season is considered. McDowell won the Daytona Road Course, and John Andretti won at Michigan in NASCAR 06 on fuel mileage. So, alright, well, that's going to end it. That is the end of NASCAR 21 Ignition as we know it on the channel as well. Thanks for those of you that tuned in, watched this series. I know I was very inconsistent with it. There was a reason for that. This game kind of stinks. But outside of that, I will be playing the NASCAR 22 update when that comes out sometime this month. It could be tomorrow when the update comes out. It could be September 30th. They said sometime in September. So we might still be a couple weeks out, potentially. I know NASCAR 06 will return on Sunday no matter what with our Daytona 500, even if the update comes out between now and Sunday. So won't be looking at starting our Daytona 500 at NASCAR 22 until at the very least Monday if we get the update between now and then. And Obviously, if we don't, then I'll have the streaming schedule up on Monday for next week. So if it doesn't happen Monday next week, then we might be looking at maybe until the following week before we get into NASCAR 22. But NASCAR 6 will start Sunday. As far as tomorrow night on the channel, though, live race commentary for the Xfinity Series race at Bristol, and then live race commentary on Saturday night for the Bristol Cup race, the elimination race of the round of 16. And also, the Xfinity race tomorrow night is the regular season finale as well. So that'll be interesting to see who makes the playoffs. Not Brandon Brown, but Jeremy Clements is in as his penalty for Daytona got not upheld. It got revoked. So he'll be in the playoffs, but we'll have to see who the drivers will be to qualify tomorrow night. So can't wait to watch that with you guys. Be sure to tune in. Vote in the polls if you haven't done so already. Polls are not closed for who I will race as for the Busch Series and NASCAR 06 yet. So definitely vote, and then the winners of those will go into more polls tomorrow to see who I will drive as in NASCAR 06 and the Busch Series. You guys get to vote for the Busch and Truck Series side. Maybe starting the Truck Series polls tomorrow as well. So just be on the lookout for that tomorrow, and vote tonight also. So see you guys tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Start Time, with the Xfinity Series live commentary at Bristol. See you guys then. Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for all the new viewers again to the channel that may have tuned in. NASCAR 21 Ignition kept watching this as well as other content on the channel. So I will say, although the game was bad, it did bring new viewers to the channel, which I'm greatly appreciative of. And with that, so long, everybody. Have a good rest of your Thursday night.